Hi. So let's get started. So this Python programming using for data science is going to be close to 14 different modules. So where in each and every module we're going to discuss some specific things. Where the first module we are going to discuss about introduction to Python. Okay, what is Python? Yeah, Jagadish DJ has mentioned MSc in statistics, 10 plus years of experience in big data, DB and ADW. All right. Okay. Okay. That's awesome. So first time I'm seeing one statistician is joining in a data science class. This is the first time that I've seen a statistic person to join data science throughout my experience. Awesome, sir. Awesome. All right. Thank you very much for the intro again. Okay, so coming to the course outline, so these are the 14 modules that we're going to cover. So we're not going to limit our knowledge, or we're going to limit only these things since because that's not the way that I would like to continue. Okay, so yeah, Jagadish Patro. Okay, two Jagadishas. Okay, I thought it's the same one. So Jagadisha has uh, also given his working in RPA now. Before I worked in Python Selenium. Okay, okay, you worked in Python Selenium. Awesome. So okay, yeah, welcome to Data Science Coach Jagadish Petro and Jagadish DG. Right. So we're going to cover introduction to Python today, and then introduction to machine learning also. There is something like a machine learning introduction over here. So because we'll start with introduction parts today, and then mostly first class I wanted to cover the introduction part. Why do we need to learn machine learning? What is data science is all about, and all those things I will be covering. And then I will be taking you through what is Python introduction. I'll be talking about some basic syntaxes to practice it for you, how to create a variable, how to do some minimal printing statements, how to do all these basics. I'm going to take you through for Python. Okay, so that will continue for Python coding and all those things for some time, because Python is more intensive towards programming. So if you take some other technologies like R, they were morely focusing towards only implementing machine learning algorithms and all that. They were only purely stick to those technologies only, but Python is not that. So it is more than that. Okay, so what is that? Everything we're going to see. Why it is, what are the other advantages of Python, what are the other things that we can do, where are the people are using, where people can use Python, where are most people are most using Python, and all those things we're going to discuss today. Okay, so and in the second module we are going to have sequences and file operations. There are something called data frames and all these things. We're going to look at all those things, how to read a file, how to convert a file, how to do some minimum cleansing, right? So all these things, since we are going to deal with the data more number of times for data science, we are going to see all those things, right? How to read a CSV file, how to read a text file, and all those things. We're going to different sources, how to read those with the help of Python. We're going to talk all those things. And then since Python is also supports, mainly supports OOPS concepts, deep dive functions. There are functions that we can create, and then we can create OOPS objects like inheritance and everything we can create within Python. So it's not yeah, similar to Java. Maybe if you, any one of you, I don't think anyone knows Java here, as per the background that I can understand. Maybe one or two might be fine, but we are going to look at some of the OOPS concepts, right? So to see how they can be implemented in Python. It is not required that a data scientist, okay, Anupam Pandey has mentioned he knows Java. Okay, that's great. So it's not required, or it's not mandatory for any data scientist to know about OOPS concepts and how does all these things works. It is not mandatory, but we just introduced it because we are learning Python. If it is R or any other language, they never have any such concepts. If you take any other tool like SPSS or any programming language, Octave or R, they never use such concepts, saying that they might be implementing, but they never use such concepts because it is not required for data science. Okay, in data science, what is that you're going to do? You're going to take some data, you're going to do some algorithm. Okay, I'll talk about what is algorithm and all those things in a while. Okay, you're going to store your data somewhere. You most of the time you're really handling the data, but why do you need all these OOPS concepts? Because you are learning Python. Python have a number of extensions, a number of different modules in it. So being a Python developer, you must be at least knowing all these minimum things which are required for interview perspective. Okay, so it's not very much mandatory for being a data scientist, but being a Python developer, it is required. That's why we're learning it. Someone will come and say, hey, you might be good in implementing all the machine learning algorithms and everything. Awesome, that's fine. How can you claim yourself that you don't know OOPS concept, how to implement OOPS concepts, at least minimum basic? So that's why we have introduced all these paths, errors and exceptions. If you're building something, if there is some file which is missing, mostly, especially those things will work when we automate some of the things, right? So let's say, for example, you're trying to um, automate the process of reading a file, right? So if the file is not available, what is that you need to do? You need to, if program should not fail. Your program fails means that is a different perspective. Everybody will saying, okay, the Python program is failing. No, it should not fail. It should throw an error message stating that, hey boss, the input file is not available. Please do the needful, or else you're going to send some email. Okay, so that's what you're going to learn. That's what we're going to see in the module 3, errors and everything. How strong in Python required for machine learning? And there is a question from Pradeep Varal, saying that how strong we should be to being in machine learning and artificial intelligence. That I will talk about it. Okay, I will talk about it. I will talk what is the importance of machine learning and artificial intelligence first, and then I will talk about what does it makes, and how does it take you to the programming language and all that. I will talk about all that importance. Okay, yeah, the course content looks fabulous. Yes, you want to learn all, even being okay, no problem. Yeah, you can learn, definitely learn. Right. So introduction to NumPy and Pandas and MATLAB. So in Python, we have a lot of things automated. So you don't need to do all those things. Let's say you wanted to do some sorting, you don't need to do all the sorting program. And in olden days, in COBOL and all this old programming language, C, C++, you will write all the sort program, compare each and every record, read it, whether it is less than, greater than, and all those things. You don't need to stick to all that older way of programming. Most of the things are automated. Like if you use NumPy, whatever the numbers, whatever the matrices, everything that you can just upload them easily, and then you can use with the help of one-liner command, mostly only one-line command. You can implement all the most of the logic to convert or to process the data. Okay, I'll be taking you through how to use NumPy, how to read the data, and all those things. Pandas is the library where you can read the files, you can convert everything into data frame, and you can access the files very easily. If you wanted to do some slicing and dicing of the files, and then if you wanted to do some filtering, if you wanted to do some conversions, everything you can do with the help of Pandas. Just need to import that and then start using it. It's very handy, very user friendly. So it'll be like very simple syntaxes, okay, to handle those things. And matplot library. If you use this library, if you wanted to build some plots, let's say I wanted to build a scatter plot, I wanted to build a line plot, I wanted to build a bar plot, just to visualize the data very easily. So you need to use that library. Just import that library and then mention that what is your data. Just mention in a one liner, just scatter plot of x. This is my x-axis, this is my y-axis data. That's it. Simple. You will be able to see the scatter plot. So likewise, we have these modules. We have each and every packages available. We are going to use these modules throughout this course. Okay, so this is a kind of lifesaver for most of the data scientist people. Like everything can be done within one or very few lines of codes. You don't think like programming in the sense, yeah, it's going to be Python programming. It's people will say it's a number one scripting language and all that. No, don't think that like that. We are going to shorten the lines of code as much as possible using all these modules. Okay, so it'll make our lives very easy. Okay, all these modules will make our lives easy. And with the help of these everything, we're going to see how to manipulate the data, how to convert the data, how to clean the data, right? So everything we're going to learn in the module 5. Okay, and then we'll be talking about introduction to machine learning with Python. So I'll be taking the introduction today, right after this module wise explanation. So and while going through machine learning, I will talk about what is supervised learning, what is dimensionality reduction, what is supervised learning 2. There is nothing called supervised learning 2. Only thing is that people have segregated in this course. People have segregated into machine learning 1 and 2, supervised learning 1 and 2. There is no much difference, and there is something called unsupervised learning. So all this dimensionality reduction, I will talk about these things. Okay, while giving the introduction, I will talk about this. I don't want to confuse you people. What is reinforcement learning, where exactly time series model comes and everything, I will talk about it. So all this part coming from 6th to 14th, everything we are going to talk mostly about machine learning and machine learning algorithms and how to implement it. So only up to 1 to 5 we are going to talk about how to handle the files, how to do it with the Python programming language and everything, right? So that is how this module is going to be. Okay, that is how this module is going to be, and this is how we are going to discuss. These are the things that we are going to discuss. I will talk about what is time series analysis, and then what is reinforcement analysis, and what is model selection for boosting and all those things when we are talking about introduction to machine learning, right? So this is how we are going to take out. Okay, so there are something like see, every instructor will have their own kind of style. It's kind of personal choice. That's how I usually feel comfortable. So basically there might be few things like very generic things. Hey, tell me what is your requirement. These are some of the basics that I don't want to cover or I don't want to talk. So what is that? There is a requirement, you're trying to solve it. Since we are already experienced people, and then we are very well we are very well versed with all these kind of things, I don't want to talk. I'm not going to spend any kind of time on all these things which you already know. Okay, so people can understand it with the help of this one also. If you want it, there is nothing, I mean, there's no much information, just there is some requirements which is just to mention, right? So apart from them mentioned, yeah, I'll come to your question. I'll come to your question very much, right? Apart from that, out of the content that we are discussing, okay, out of the content that is available in this, I'm going to take you through different kind of presentations, different kind of examples which I feel that it's better to share, it is worth to share. Let's say something is not available like neural network and all those things, I'll be taking out some of my personal content, and then I'll be explaining all those things to you, which I feel that throughout my experience I feel that which is very important to learn. Okay, and also to machine learning, statistics is also one of the very important thing. Okay, so very important thing. So I'll be taking you through some of the concepts related to statistics which are required. Being a data science person or either being in data science, you should be, okay, you should be aware of all those terms. It's not that you must be aware of all those critical and very deeper insights about statistics and all that. I'll try to make the classes as easy as possible by giving simple examples, okay, so that you can remember those things. I'm not going to talk anything which is not at all going to be useful being a data scientist for you. Okay, right? So that is how it's going to be, right? So you might see I might be jumbling between some of the different ppts which is my personal content and all that. I hope you people are okay with that, to share all that extra knowledge or extra information that I have. So some of the simple things like all these things maybe I feel like why do we hear all these things, since most of the people are very experienced also. So yeah, Anupam has one more question, like, will you cover the concepts in complete depth, or should I follow textbooks along with the course? Yeah, that's a good question, Anupam. Yeah, so that's the specialty that I maybe I don't know whether how other instructions will be taking you through. Let's say if there is any example, any algorithm that we have, like linear regression model. Most of the institutes, I should not be maybe talking about this, but most of the people doesn't talk about all those, how the internal things works, how internally the algorithm will build. Mostly people will be concentrating on how to implement everything in R, or either how to implement everything in Python. So these are the things that people will talk, and they will never mention like internally how a machine learning algorithm works. But that is what we are going to look at. That's where we are going to spend enough amount of time to understand what is going on, how exactly this algorithm builds this particular function, how this output is deriving. So everything in detail we are going to cover those things as part of my class. Okay, I'm not going to discuss any algorithm without giving background on how the internally everything works. Okay, I'll be definitely taking you through the different ppts, whatever the content I have with me. I'll be definitely taking you through all that explanation. Once you people, every one of you is comfortable, then only we'll be moving into the next thing. It is not that I strictly has to follow all this module 1, module 2, all the structure. No, my own objective is to make everyone 100% of the people in this class to be aware of all the concepts that we are discussing. Okay, that's how I'll be taking you through this course. That's my style of explaining the things. Okay, so I'm not going to compromise with any of it. Okay, even if it takes more than 3 hours, or either if I'm required to add some more modules, because this is expected for some close to 15 or 16 modules, right? Even if it's going to take a few more sessions to be added, I can make sure that those sessions will be added in our LMS, so we can extend the course if every one of you are okay. Hopefully most of you people are experienced, and you people will be able to understand what is the importance of learning the things. Okay, so I'll be definitely taking you through all the detailed examples and all the detailed explanation for each and every of this. Okay, right. So most of the introduction is expected to be Python course content, Python introduction. Like if you go through the PPTs, then you will be able to understand. Like, oops, I don't know why this is. Okay, I think this is a little slow. I don't know why. The This is the problem with some of the PPTs. Some PPTs will get stuck in between, and then they will never move. Right. So if you look at the PPTs, there are most of the things that that is expected to cover all the basic Python programming, what is variable and how to feel that, and that we are going to see anyhow. So I'm not going to take this PPT and each and every page and explaining what is this, and by going through the script, you will learn all those things. But before that, we'll start with the introduction to machine learning. Okay, we'll start with introduction to machine learning, and we'll understand what is machine learning and what is that we are going to learn and all that. Okay, so yes, so we're going to look at that, and then we'll jump onto Python. We'll jump onto Python introduction, all that. So all the presentations that you are able to see from LMS, those will be available. Everything will be available in LMS. Okay, so you don't need to worry. So by default they will be available. Okay, so by default all those things will be available in LMS, and the access, everything will be available for your lifetime. It's not that for some days it will be available, so some days all the LMS, whoever the people get access to LMS website. So all the recordings, all the materials, everything will be available for you for at the entire lifetime. No one is going to take out the access, no one is going to remove anything out of there. Okay, so you don't need to worry, you can access anything from anywhere from the globe at any time. Okay, so let's start with the introduction to data science. So everybody, what is the difference between, if I talk about what is that is changing, it's a digital world. We are moving into a digital world, and we have already moved into it, right? So when I say digital world, what does that mean? It means everybody in this world, everybody in this, not for the matter of that, not even one country or two country developed countries or whatever it is, everybody in this world started using digital devices, which is, it can be a laptop, it can be a tablet, it can be a mobile, or whatever it is. What is that it is happening? Everybody started sharing the information where they were dealing with digital world mostly. If someone says that, someone comments about one photo, like saying I liked your product, or I liked your or maybe your picture or whatever it is, which means that they are sharing something what they like and what they don't like, is nothing but, right? So if the person is giving some comment about a movie, giving a review about a movie, saying that I didn't like the movie at all, this is a bad movie and all that, you're expressing yourself, expressing yourself in the digital world, right? People can take that information. What is the advantage of having this? Everybody's knowledge, everybody's mindset, everything is getting recorded over there in the digital world somewhere, right? So whatever the movies you are liking, people will see, okay, these are the kind of movies people will like. This guy, person A, is liking all the action movies. Whatever the action movies, he will definitely watch. They know someone knows about you, someone can know about you. If you're watching more like animated movies, people knows that, okay, this guy is, or this particular person A or person 2 is watching more animated movies. So, okay, let's try to give some advertisements to him, whatever the animated movie which is going to release in the market, or either maybe which is going to come up in the maybe Amazon TV or Amazon Prime or whatever it is. Let's recommend him so that he will definitely watch, right? So these are the kind of information that people are sharing, and people can make use of it to improve their business. So whatever the thing that you are expressing, people can understand it, people can extract the data, people can analyze the data, saying that okay, this is what this person is likely to see, this is what this person is likely to go for. This is where every year on maybe September 22nd, this particular person is will definitely visit a restaurant because there is a vacation for him. There could be a vacation. There could be a special event for him. Maybe something like okay, his birthday or his wedding anniversary. Okay, so it can be anything. For every 22nd September, I see that from 4 or 5 years he's celebrating for somewhere. He's going to somewhere. Okay, let's give that information to a person, maybe kind of holiday planner or whoever it is. He can use it, he can start using it, saying that hey sir, we have a fantastic plan, would you like to go for some different country, would you like to visit somewhere, we can provide you a buffet at somewhere where you can get it for the lowest cost. So people can come up with such recommendations to improve their business. Information is getting shared across each and every digital message where it is worth millions of dollars nowadays. Information is very critical to improve the business. Let's say for example, I started my mobile company, I started manufacturing mobiles. Okay, I started manufacturing my mobiles and I wanted to market them. What I will do, I'll start doing advertisements and start doing some campaigns and all that. But I wanted to understand what customer is talking about it, because I launched my mobile across the country, which is a worth of 100 billion people, 1 billion people, right? I cannot go to each and every person who purchased the mobile. I cannot introduce a team where I don't have a manufacturing unit. I will just directly import everything from China. So I have only marketing people, distributors who are scattered across the globe. I cannot ask them to provide the review, provide the feedback, what customers are talking about it, right? So where I can go and get the information, what is that people are not liking in my product, what is that people are liking in my product, so that I can improve my business, is where just go to some social networks, take the people where whoever are people talking about my mobile, like Twitter, whoever are people talking about my mobile. Okay, just extract all those tweets, analyze them, understand them. What is the pain point that people are liking it? What is that they were not liking it? What is that they were actually liking in my mobile? So improve your business. Whatever the company you are, let's say for example you are a manufacturer. Okay, manufacturer will have a number of data. Let's say that you have to provide a fantastic service to the customers. Every manufacturing automobile company, for example, every automobile company is spending 5 to 6% of their annual growth in warranty. So people will definitely spend. Let's say if you're making $1,000, if you're making $1,000 profit out of one vehicle, if whatever that you're manufacturing, for example, out of the 1,050 to $60 you have to respend on warranty, because people will come and complain you within the 2 years of time, or either within 15 kilometers of 50,000 kilometers of journey that he makes. He will come and say that I have this problem. Analyze the data, analyze the data where most of the customers are facing the problem, where I'm getting, where I have to spend more and more amount of warranty cost. That 5 to 6% I need to spend on warranty, right? Again, whatever the out of the profits that I'm making, reduce that cost. Okay, since most of the people are coming up with a complaint saying that my clutch pad is failing. Okay, improve your clutch pad. Since out of 100 people who purchased it, 50 people are coming with some issues stating clutch pad is failing. Improve your clutch pad quality. You don't need to spend 5% or 6%. If you improve your quality, maybe 1% extra you might have to spend on improving its quality, improving its build quality, making it more stronger or more reliable, more robust, right? So you can reduce the cost that you are investing. All this information from where you can get, you just go to all the dealers, get all the information from the dealer saying what is the complaint, what is the user, how many of them are saying, okay, understand the pain point, okay, try to do some analytics or analysis, whatever it is, and then try to implement those things. So every information that is getting stored, whatever it is, whatever the information it is, everything is very useful. In olden days, what people used to do, people used to store the structured or unstructured data or machine critical data only in servers. When I say servers, in the sense, let's say if you're going for a bank, whatever the transactions that you are making, you are depositing some money, you are withdrawing some money, today you will withdraw some amount, tomorrow you will withdraw some amount, you will make thousands and thousands of transactions within 1 year. People used to store all that information in olden days. It's a kind of structured data, we call it as. We call it as structured data. People used to store only that structured data. Because of this digitalization world, what happened? Can you ask someone to tweet only in one defined format? No. People can tweet with any kind of format. You cannot restrict it. You can never restrict it. That is not at all possible. Right? When I say structured data in the sense, when I say structured data in the sense, it will be structured. There is a column. Okay. If there is a something like address, you will be mentioning address. There will be something like name, you will be mentioning your name. There is something like what is your age, you will be mentioning only the age. So, it will become very, very easy to handle such data. But if it is unstructured data, it is very difficult for everyone to handle it. We don't know how the data is going to. We cannot write a program, simple program to follow, to understand, to extract the information out of that structured data. Right. Okay. There is in between. There is a question from Pradeep. Does an artificial intelligence engineer need to know data science and big data in depth, or basic is more than enough? Artificial intelligence and machine learning with Python and data science looks like a very big ocean to learn. Yeah, you are correct. I will give clarity on what is machine learning, what is artificial intelligence, and what is big data in a moment. Okay, we'll be going through that. Just listen to, have some patience and listen to this. Okay, I'll be definitely covering that answer. You will definitely get your answer. Okay. All right. So all that information is getting stored, all the structured data, unstructured data. When I say unstructured data, there are few more things. Image formats, audio files, video files, everything is also getting stored in the in databases itself, right? They are not worth of information. Are they not providing information? They can process the image. If you went to any of the websites, if you, for example, if you went to any of the websites before logging in, they will say find out or select the images which has a road or which has a car, which has a school bus in it. If you enter the images, if you select the images wherever you have school buses, then only the website will allow you to go to the next level. Maybe some people will allow captcha, enter some captcha and all those things, but things are changing, right? They were doing some image processing kind of implementation where nobody can cheat them by doing automation process. If you go to Selenium, what people will do, people will write a Selenium program just to simply to log in into it. Let's say, for example, there is something like what do we call just dial. There's a website in India where most of the people will use just dial. If you search for anything, they will give you a mobile number. Let's say, for example, I wanted to go to a restaurant in maybe in Martali or somewhere. Just search for best restaurant in Martali, Bangalore. That's it. You will get all the numbers. What Selenium people, whoever has no Selenium, what they can do, they can just simply create a Selenium program using Python or either any automated processing, and then they can log in into their website. They can extract all the data, and then by tomorrow you can start implementing your own website, like just a dial, right? That is already there. Just dial. Don't dial. Maybe they can create it. Just they can extract the data, but how to implement it, how to avoid it, by using all these captcha methods, by using all these automated methods where automatically people cannot crawl all the data. For every 10 logins or for every 10 pages, I will start asking those things. So people cannot implement it. I can restrict all those people to theft data from me. That is a different concept anyhow. Oh, okay. So all that, wherever that image, how can a website can create thousands and thousands of images which are coming for everyone, right? They can automatically analyze, automatically make a website to analyze, okay, the whatever the selections he's making is correct. You cannot automate that process. You cannot do a manual process. You should have to automate it. That's called image processing. That's a kind of, you're dealing with unstructured data. It is not at all structured. You don't know how the image is going to be, right? All this data is getting stored in the systems. That's where the concept of big data has come into picture. Okay. In olden days also we are using data science. In olden days also, okay, people used to store the data wherever it is, Oracle systems or mainframe systems, or either even in Excel sheets. We have all the softwares, all the machine learning algorithms, everything is available in from so long. What is that it is changing? Because of this digital world, all the data, the size of data that is exponentially growing in the systems, exponentially growing in this servers, everything is growing a lot, growing too much. That's when the need of data scientist has come into picture, has grown like anything. All big data developers are responsible for storing the data and making sure that the data is available. Who is going to analyze that? Who is going to use that? Who is going to understand that there are some hidden patterns? Okay, if you use this particular thing, you can improve your business. If you do this, you can improve your business. Who is going to do that? That's what is called, that's when the role of a data scientist has come into picture. That is not the one the data scientist is doing that. Only when the big data has come into picture, that's not the place where data scientist has come into picture. It is there from so long. But the demand for data scientist has increased like anything. Everything, if you wanted to store some data, you can automate the process and can start throwing the data directly without having any manual interaction into Hadoop. But you cannot automate the process of analyzing it. What data to be analyzed, what process to be analyzed. That's when the demand for data scientists has increased like anything, where most of the people are looking for data scientists, fantastic data scientists. We want data scientists who can analyze the data. The data is getting stored in servers. We want data scientists who can go through the data, who can dig through the data, who can identify what are the best things, what are the best things that we can do, what are the to improve our business, to reduce the cost that we are investing, or either to improve the business that we are doing. Right. So being a data scientist, you must be aware of three main things. Okay, being a data science person, right? So my first thing is computers or IT knowledge, right? You should be aware of some of the programming language, and some of the maybe handling the data, writing some SQLs and all that. That is expected. And mathematics and statistics, because you wanted to apply some algorithms, machine learning algorithms kind of things, in order to do some predictive modeling and all that. I will talk about all those things, okay, in a while. So you definitely need mathematics and statistics background. And since you are going to deal with some business, you must be aware of the business, how the business is going, what is this table is all about, what is this data is all about, why the data is like this, why this particular record is coming as no, is it valid or not. All that business knowledge you must have. Okay, so why, again, we already have computers and IT background people, we already have mathematics and statisticians, we already have domain knowledge people. Why data science scientist again? Why people need data scientists is because if you ask a computers guy to write a mathematics and statistics program, he will say, I don't know. He doesn't know anything about it. If not in, yeah, it's not in, if not in, yeah, I will talk about it. I will talk about it. Yeah, right. So you're going to have some, you need to have some computers and IT background knowledge. And if you ask a statistician to write a bigger SQL saying that you wanted to extract some data with some doing some joins and all that, you wanted to do some web crawling methodology to extract some data from Twitter and all that, why do you, why is that required for me to do? I'm a statistician. You ask me to provide some machine learning algorithm, you ask me to provide some hypothesis testing, yeah, I will be definitely able to do it. I will deal with numbers. Why do I need to go for it's not my part of job. And if you ask a domain guy, if you ask you to do some web crawling, will you be able to do it? No, it's not his job. Ask me about the business, how to improve the business, how the sales is going to be, how to improve our sales. I can give you something, I can give some information, but it's not my piece of job. That's where people have created to connect all the gaps between all these three domains: mathematics, computers and background, and domain knowledge. People have created a position called data scientist. People are definitely required to have a position which connects who knows data science, like computers and IT background, mathematics and statistician, and domain knowledge, to implement all this information, all this knowledge, who can create or build some algorithms which can be used by organizations, which no other people can do, right? So what are the things, what is machine learning, what is, again, what are the limitations of computers and IT background? You're not expected to become an expertise of all these things. It is not that a data scientist must be expert in computers and IT background, or rather too much of he definitely know all the things related to mathematics and statistics. No, it is not at all required. It is required that he should have some certain limited knowledge to implement to solve the problems related to data science. Okay, it is not that he should know definitely all the mathematics and statistics. No, it is not required that, okay, if you ask him, if you go and ask a statistician, if you don't, even if you don't provide anything to him, he'll be definitely able to do some mathematics with the help of pen and paper, and then he'll be able to do it. It is not expected that a data scientist must be aware of all those things. No, He knows little concepts. You know what is, if someone says that statistician will come and say, if you're sitting in a meeting, he will say, I'm going to reject the hypothesis. What? Computers are, people say that, what, you're going to reject my algorithm? You're going to reject it? He cannot understand, because rejecting hypothesis is nothing but our formula is going to work. That is a good word. But since it has a word like reject the null hypothesis, people will start frustrating like anything. Hey, why are you saying a word called reject? How can you say that it's a reject? Whatever algorithm that I created, how can you call it as a reject? No, that's where you need to be aware of. A data scientist is the one who knows all the concepts in statistics, not all the concepts, the background about statistics, where he will be able to convince the computers or IT guy saying that, hello, it's not rejecting, it is something that you are, he is interested to implement your algorithm. He's saying your algorithm is giving good results. That's what it is. So that's where the data scientist role will come to picture. You must be aware of at least the concepts. He should not be an expertise out of all these things, right? So computers background or IT background, okay, why do we need to become expertise in all this programming language and all that? It is expected, it is good to have, but it is not, because of all these Python modules, Python packages, everything is been automated nowadays in this world. With the help of little knowledge, with the help of little programming knowledge, you will be able to do a lot of things. If you wanted to do some web crawling methodology, you don't need to write a thousands and thousands of line of program. Just Python has implemented those things, or either all these tools has implemented those things. The libraries are available. Some developer who is good in Python has created for you this as a package. Just import it with the help of one liner. Just provide your ID password and then just connect to Twitter and then extract whatever that you want. Right? That's where a data scientist will come. If you start working building on all those libraries, you will never become a data scientist. You will become a Python programmer or Python developer. We are not here to learn Python. We are here to do some data science with the help of Python. And domain and business knowledge is something that everybody has to gain it individually. So I will take different examples from different domains, right? So whatever the data that I will be able to get it possibly on a possible way, I'll be able to take different examples and I'll show you what kind of information that you are going to use, what kind of data that you are going to use. So you can understand, okay, if this is the domain, this is the columns that I need to consider. So you will understand it slowly. So modern data scientist, as I was mentioning, so these are the things we have. What are the prerequisites that won't be covered as part of this course, which Anupam Pandey is asking? I'm not sure. As far as I know, any of this course in Edureka doesn't require any specific prerequisites, but especially if you are in my class, I never expect anyone knows anything as a prerequisites. I would only ask one prerequisite to have a strong dedication to learn data science. Okay, have some enough patience to learn the things. Don't be over enthusiastic. Where I used to get some comments saying that someone will give a comment saying that you are not covering all these concepts. And in next session, I will say, okay, we are not went to that level. We haven't even implemented the algorithm. How can you say that to improve hyperparameter tuning or tuning the algorithm needs to be discussed before even discussing the algorithm? Some people will be over enthusiastic saying that, okay, you didn't discuss. I mean, they would have gone through some videos, they would have gone through something, maybe right. So they would be over enthusiastic, understanding that, saying that, okay, you are not discussing all those things. So that will be discussed in the next class. Without implementing the algorithm, how can I say that to improve the accuracy? Parameter tuning, we will do it to improve the accuracy. Without implementing algorithm, how can I say, how can you come and ask, like, without even building algorithm? Some people will ask, some people will start giving some average rating and all that. So yeah, so those are something that we'll discuss. If you kind of, if you kind of feel like we are not discussing that, please do let me know, okay, before putting it in a comment, like, because everybody will be looking at it. So they will also obviously understand, okay, based on the comment, that based on the answer that I will give, people will definitely understand. So have some patience, have some strong dedicated mind to learn the things. Okay, so as far as I know, what is the one thing that I would say is, you take any course, you take any other course, compared to data science, there will be more kind of practicals that is required, but for data science, you need more kind of theory to be understand. without learning how a machine learning algorithm works, which is of one-liner in Python. If you wanted to implement linear regression, that is just a simple one-liner LM of input versus output. That's it. No other syntax. It gives the output directly. You need to use it. Just a single one-liner. Believe me, guys. To implement one algorithm, any algorithm for the matter of sake, if you implement, if your data is ready, if your data is clean, if you need to implement any algorithm, it's just a matter of one line to build the algorithm. LM of not even one line, one command. That's it. So, but you should know what is happening inside it. Talking about that one line is not enough, right? So you should know what is happening inside. That is where interviews will happen. That is how the interview will, he will never ask what is that one line command that you have executed. Nobody will ask. He will ask you what is linear regression, what is the cost function, how it is implemented internally. Can you please explain? That is how the interviews will be. So we're going to cover those things mostly. So please do not think like the theory. We can go through a recording. I can go through it. I can go through the some theory part and then I can get some knowledge after some time. No, don't think like that. Please concentrate enough in this class. Try to understand the things. If you have any questions, any queries, please feel free to ask me or raise the questions immediately. Okay, unless you don't understand the theory, there is no use of implementing your Python program or either implementing your machine learning algorithm. That's a simple thing. Nobody will ask you an interview question. If it's something like you are not preparing for something which you are going to face, if you're not able to answer the interview, how can you get into a data science world? So in order to answer all the questions, you must know how algorithm is working. You must know the theory part. Do not neglect theory part. Okay, that is the first thing that I will tell you. That's very, very important thing for data science. Right. So these are the same things. People are talking about the same business and domain, everything. So modern data scientist, how it should be. Okay. There is a slight or thin difference between a data scientist and a data engineer and statistician. Okay. Let's try to understand that. Right. So a data engineer is morely looking towards processing the data, cleansing the data, cleaning the data, and he's making sure that there is no fault in the data. Right. So this is where most of the time a data engineer will be spending on. Maybe you can call them as ETL developers or either whatever it is, right? So a statistician is the person who will be mostly dealing with some numbers and hypothesis modeling, building some hypothesis, handling with numbers and all that. Where let's say for example, you wanted to get some output, you wanted to build some hypothesis stating can we go up with this model, can we implement this market mix modeling and all that. Yeah, he will say okay, you can do it. But what is the difference between a statistician and data scientist? A data scientist is the one who can build an algorithm which can automate the process. If something like today that you have created something y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, a statistician, if you go to statistician, I wanted to build a regression model. Oh, okay, y is equal to mx plus c, will give that formula. And tomorrow if something goes wrong, something is not working because y is equal to mx plus c, x is your input, some x plus y has coming to picture, x plus x1 has coming to picture. Again, statistician has to do his research why the data is changed, what is that we can do it. But if it is a work of data scientist, you don't need to. You just write one algorithm where everything will be automated. Even if the data changes, you don't need to worry about it. The algorithm itself will take care of that part. All that automation going through n number of different methodology, web crawling methodology. Okay, understanding some structured data and unstructured data, everything can be done with the help of a data scientist, where data engineer will be morely like focused only towards making sure that the quality of the data will be good. He don't know what to do without that. What is the outcome? It is only making sure that either business intelligent people to build some dashboards or either to do some to generate some reports, maybe kind of for analysis and all that, he will be doing it. But a data scientist is the one who will be building, who will be taking that cleaned data. Okay, if the clean data is not available by data engineer, he has to make sure that the data will be cleaned, right? He'll be doing it, he'll be building the algorithms. So what is basically algorithm means? What exactly is an algorithm? Statistics or anything, if you see any programming language, it says that okay, this is what you have built, this is what you are going to use. If the data changes, you need to change your program. If something is coming to picture, something new has coming to picture, either statistics world, either any programming language, you need to change your program. But in machine learning, we are not going to do that, because we are going to write an algorithm. Every time that you run that algorithm, it itself will generate the program for you. Okay, It itself will generate the program for you. Let me show it in a simple example, very simple example. What is that? MS Paint. Let's say, for example, you have got some input. Today, you're doing something. You got some input. Okay, you are expected to produce some output, and then you create a statistician or someone will create some formula saying that y is equal to mx plus c. This is your formula. If you implement this, if you implement with this input, m is going to be some 0.5, for example, c is going to be some 6. What he will say, if you implement this formula, when your input comes to x is equal to 6, for example, if you implement this formula, you will be able to get some output, maybe 3.6 or something. If something like tomorrow z has come into picture, this is the new input you have got. What you need to do, he has to again spend time on implementing z over here, maybe mz or whatever it is. But if it is machine learning, you don't need to do it. What you are going to do, what is that your machine learning algorithm is going to give? He will give some specific number, this guy, but we are not going to do that. In ML, we are going to write a program, write an algorithm. The algorithm will itself give whatever that input that you feed, either x, z, or a, b, c, or whatever it is. You're going to get some numbers stating that, okay, this is how your formula is going to. If your input is coming with y or x as input, okay, use this y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to mx plus c. If your algorithm has changed, has z has come, okay, you don't need to change the program. I will understand. I will go through the data. I will understand about the data. I will give you the formula for. So every time you implement this, this itself will generate the program for you. That is what an automated process. Every time that you run the algorithm, it itself will generate the program where you don't have to change anything over there. You only just build the algorithm once and use it, whatever the data it is, just use it for lifetime. That's what an algorithm. Even algorithm has to be changed. Algorithm needs to be changed or hype or retriggered again, retrained again. That are those things I will talk about it. But on overall, this is the main difference between normal application programming or normal statistics way, or either doing those things in machine learning. Right? Okay. So we're talking enough about those big data and all those things. Okay, let's spend some time on understanding why we need big data and what exactly the data flow will happen, what exactly things will happen in data. Okay, in any organization, let's say for example, if we consider that the life cycle of a data will go like this, which means descriptive analytics will happen first, which means people will store the data, people will store the data by default. The people will do some what do we call some basic kind of transformation, ETL and all that. What people will do with that data, what happened with the help of some basic reports, with the help of the tools like business intelligence reports like ClickView, Tableau, Power BI and all those things, they will understand why the sales is down, because I see that last month the sales is up, but why again sales is dropping. These are the things people will understand with the help of descriptive analytics. What has happened, right? So the way that difficulty or the value add that will get added to the companies is going to be like this only. The difficulty of accessing the data or handling the data will also increase throughout these phases. Let's say what is the previous phase for this? It's ETL and then normal operations. First operations will happen like all the screens. Let's say if you're working for a banking domain, all the screens, front end screens and everything is your first way. That is where all your data will get generated. That is operations, and after that the ETL, wherever people stores the data, old data, archive data or whatever it is. ETL, and then descriptive analytics. Do some analysis. Okay, what is going on? What happened? And diagnostic analytics is something like why it is happened. Okay, there is a problem. There is a drop in sales. I will ask the company owner will ask, okay, guys, you do analysis and then try to give me the reason why it has happened. people will go through some data saying that okay, in this particular region we have some data, we have some problem. Okay, why is that problem? There is some protest is going on, so there is something is going on. Okay, we can't do anything. This is something like a spike where there's nothing. But if something like okay, we don't have inventory maintained over here, we are not able to meet the requirement, the inventory is not available, so we are not able to provide the particular part to the customer or particular vehicle to the customer. We are not able to serve the customer because we are not maintaining proper inventory. We didn't purchase the inventory, whatever that is required to manufacture a car, we didn't purchase it in the right time. We are short of inventory, we are not able to manufacture it. That's the reason I see that there is a decrease in sales, or either there is no increase in the sales. So this is what people will understand. Okay, and then what is that, what is the next level people can do? So this is called more or like business intelligence. Okay, all these tools will come into picture, and the difficulty of handling the data, the difficulty of processing the data will also increase throughout each and every phase. And then here the main thing will come, predictive analytics. What will happen? Let's say today my sales is this much, and yesterday my sales is this much. How much sales I'm going to get for tomorrow? Let's say maybe this month I made $1 million profits. Okay, in the previous month I made 1 million. This month I made or maybe 1.5 million. And the next month, how much is going to be? I need to understand, is it going to be 2 million, or is it still going to be 1.5 million? Based on that, I can make sure that I'll be definitely able to make everything ready from my side. If tomorrow I say that suddenly there is there is something like 3 million sales I can make, but if I don't have all my products ready, how can I make sure that I will be able to grab that market? You say, for example, there is only chance that I can only make $1 million for the next month. If I invest $1.5 million on that, saying that okay, I will definitely get a sales of 1.5 millions for next month, and I invested, but my sales is only 1 million, I'm going to lose the all the investment related to this 0.5 million, right? I'm going to lose that. So what is going to happen in future? I want organizations definitely wanted to know. For example, in the same, let's take the same example of manufacturing cars. Let's say, for example, in September, last month I sold 1,000 cars. This month I sold 1,200 cars or something like that. How many cars I need to manufacture for the next month, October? Can I believe in that? Okay, can I produce 1,500 cars? If you produce 1,500 cars, if there is actual demand is only for 1,000 vehicles, for example, only 1,000 vehicles are been sold, and you have produced 1,500 cars, all your 500 vehicles has to be left as is. They have to keep those vehicles for 1 month. They have to pay rent for keeping all that showroom also has to pay some money to keep the stores, right? Keep it in stores and do some transportation, and you have invested your amount on 500 vehicles unnecessarily before 1 month. Investing 500 cost on 500 vehicles is a very huge amount. Let's say, for example, okay, you understand that okay, over manufacturing is creating a problem. Okay, let's do under manufacturing. Let's There is a demand for 1,000 vehicles next month. Okay, I will manufacture only 700 vehicles. What is that you're going to get? You're going to lose your market. There is a demand for 1,000 vehicles, you're going to lose your market, where you manufactured only 700. Within the time you're able to serve, customer will go to different car, and then he will purchase a different vehicle. You have lost your market, you're not able to make profits out of it. So every organization, everyone wanted to know what is going to happen in future. That is making very difficult for organizations to understand, which is very important, because lot of huge numbers are involved over there. There is a too much of cost difference to produce 1,000 vehicles and 1,200 vehicles, because this to produce this another extra 200 vehicles, you need to spend millions of dollars. How to optimize that? How to properly invest those millions of dollars effectively, so that you don't waste your money of unnecessarily investing in wrong time. So predictive analytics is the one which can do all those things. Use your historical data and then create an algorithm which gives predictions, saying that boss, based on your historical data, based on your trend, based on your seasonality factor and everything, I will give you the predictions. The algorithm predictive analytics will give you some analysis, will give you some sales. Okay, this is how your sales is going to be. It will give you some rough figure saying that maybe 950 or either 1,100.
Okay, that's only manufactured till this region only. Don't go beyond less, or don't go beyond. So you'll be out of risk. You don't have to spend too much of money, or you don't have to end up with losing your market. Let's say for example, I wanted to, because I say in the same, maybe in different example, this is a variable prediction. It's a continuous variable, right? Sales prediction. Let's say where else this predictive modeling is used. Let's say for example, I'm a bank person. I have a bank. I'm going to do, I will take some money from the customer who are depositing. I will give loans. I will take loans, and then I will gain profits out of it. What is the main challenge for banking? The main challenging for banking is defaulters. Whoever takes the loan, and they will, for some reason, whatever the reason it is, they will stop paying EMIs properly. That is the main problem for most of the banks. If you identify a person who is likely to become a defaulter in future, so that you cannot, you're not required to give any approve any loan to him. Let's say for example, there is one person who is working in a private company from 2 years with less amount of salary. There is more chances that this particular person can never, may or may not able to pay the loan properly. If there is a person who is a government employee, for example, who is working in a government organization for 10 years, who has his own house, own vehicle, and all that, he has settled like anything, but he's more likely to pay the EMIs without having any issues. What people will invest, lot of persons, maybe some bank managers, bank representatives, and everything, to go through the data. What banks will do, they will ask whoever is coming to asking for a loan, they will ask them to fill a number of information. Do you have own car? Do you have own house? What is your income? What is your, are you a bank employee or private employee? Do you have a four-wheeler? And all that information people will do based on your characteristics. Bank will try to see whether this person is likely to become a defaulter or not. If they see that there is a risk, saying, okay, this person is likely to become a defaulter based on our historical data. 10 people out of 100 people who are defaulter, 10 to 20 people are have become defaulter with the same characteristics. Okay, let's don't approve loan for him. Okay, I see that with this particular characteristics, I see that definitely people will definitely pay all the EMIs. Okay, don't do, no need to worry, just straight away approve loan for him. Take the surety and then approve a loan for him. So people cannot invest time or invest resources on going through each and every document. Banks will get thousands and thousands of what we call requests from each and every person, but there must be something which is looking after this, which is where we will build an algorithm. Being a data scientist, we will build an algorithm saying, with this particular characteristics, reject the loan. With this particular characteristics, approve the loan. Okay, right, straight away, rather than asking someone to analyze the data, someone to sit and then go through all the information that is provided, where they will say that I wanted to take a time of 1 hour or so. If you can build an algorithm, just feed your algorithm, feed your input to your algorithm, the algorithm will straight away say that either approve the loan or reject the loan straight away. It's called predictive analytics. It's called classification problem. In the first problem, we are trying to predict the continuous variable, how much your sales is going to be. That's what we call it as continuous variable. I will talk about all the variables also. Okay, so it's a classification. You're trying to understand whether it is going to be yes or no. Everything is falls into predictive analytics. After doing this, the one more step ahead is predictive analytics. That's what we are going to do in data science. You can also do descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. Being a data scientist, you are expected to do that. But why do you need to do? Because these people are there already for you. You don't need to do it. And out of this box, you are also going to do predictive analytics mostly, right? So, and after that, prescriptive analytics is something like either based on your output, based on the output, you are going to say either to how can we make it happen. Our organization business will take action on it, or whatever the necessary action that is required, they will take action on it. Okay, just to improve that, this is a simple way of representing the analytics value. Just to improve that more towards, just to give more and more information about it. Data quality, where transactional data will happen, and then descriptive analytics, the business intelligence, everything will happen. Diagnostics, where to understand, identifying what are the factors which caused this. And predictive modeling in the sense forecasting, for validation, all those things. This is where the difficulty will increase. If you see, the difficulty will increase, and the value add that companies are gaining will also increase. For data science, there is too much of value add that people can gain out of it. The value add is going to be even more compared to all other streams or all other domains, all other entities in the organization, right? So, and after that, semantic analytics or prescriptive analytics, people can call with a number of things like so okay, so to handle to whatever the actions that you take to take decisions on top of it, that's what the next level is. Okay, so this is how it is going to be. Okay, before that, let me talk about data science workflow. Okay, we will talk about what is big data and what is this, where what exactly you are required to learn big data and everything. We will go in a flow. Okay, we'll go in a flow and then to understand how exactly everything is required for us, where exactly everything will come into picture. Data science workflow. Being a data scientist, this is how you're typically going to work on. Business understanding. I would say the first and foremost requirement is requirement gathering. What is the problem you're going to solve? Okay, what is the problem that you are going to solve? That is your first and foremost important thing. Are you going to predict the sales? Are you going to create an algorithm to classify whether this particular person is good or bad? This is your business understanding. This is your business pain point. And then data understanding. In order to solve this problem, do I have data? Whatever the data it is, either it is big data, either it is Oracle system, either it is an Excel file, whatever the data it is, do we need to see what is the data that I have? If I don't have the data, from where I can generate the data to solve this problem? Okay, do I need to go to some social network? Do I need to depend on some survey data? Do I need to depend on my data warehousing? That's what you need to understand to solve that problem. If you're not able to get the data, yeah, start getting the data. Start getting the data. There is nothing that you can do without having data in data science, right? So, and after that, importing the data, get all your data into the place wherever you wanted to do some data science analytics and all that, build your model and all those things, get all your data into one place. And then whatever the data that you get, everything will be very dirty. By data, being a data scientist, you must keep this in your mind. Either the data is coming from ETL, either data warehousing, either the BI persons are using. Every time the data is going to be as dirty as possible. It will have a number of different issues, a number of different problems in the data. You are expected to clean that and making sure that your data is so clean so that the algorithm will understand it. Algorithm will only take clean data. It will never take any unclean data. None of the algorithms for the matter of that. If you have any missing values, algorithm will fail saying that there is a missing value. You need to replace those missing values with some average values or whatever it is. I will talk about all those things when we're discussing in ML. Okay, you need to clean the data. After cleaning it, you're going to build your statistical modeling or machine learning modeling. And once you build it, once you analyze that, okay, this is the perfect one, you are going to test it also. Okay, you're going to test it also. Once you build it, then you're going to say that, okay, my algorithm is working fine. And then you're going to build some reports saying that, okay, this is my sales previous month, this is your sales next month, you're going to get this much of sales. You're going to build a visualization, because all your output will be looked at by topmost business people every time, maybe CEO or CEO company of the company or something like that. So most of the things that are data science test will be handling will be on very high level. So all your outputs will be seen by them. They are not interested to, none of the people will be interested to look at those reports and numbers and all these things. They will be interested only to see the visualizations. That's where those outputs are expected to be generated by visualization. In some of the companies, people will have a dedicated team to build all these dashboards and all. In some of the companies, data scientist is expected to do some visualization. Okay, so where you might or you might not have to do it. Since most of the people are now procuring the license for Tableau, ClickView and all those tools, people will use them. If not, there are some tools like in Python itself, you can generate all those graphs and you can show those, you can show those reports to the business users. That's how it's going to be. There are a number of ways that we'll talk about those things while going through those modules. Okay, so what is machine learning? We're talking about a lot of machine learning activities, right? What is machine learning? Any guess? Any one of you can give some answer? I see a lot of other people have also joined a little late. I couldn't get much information about you people.
Anjaneylu, Anupam Pandey. I see Anupam Pandey, Vijal, Gaurav. I have talked. Ibrahim is joined new. We didn't had any introduction about Ibrahim. Jagdish DJ. I think Jayashree is here. We didn't had any discussion. Kalyan also we talked. Kumaraswamy Naidu also we talked. Mayur also we talked. Pradeep Baral also I think we talked. Prasann we talked. Rajan Saket who is joined, and Sujit is one who joined newly. So yeah, we had an one introduction part to just to give some name and little background about you. So we just had everything. So after that we started with the introduction. So that's what has happened. I know it's too late, but because you joined after we started, so I just wanted to give. Okay, so there is a question: ability of okay, sorry. The, for my question, people have started replying. So Anupam has saying ability of machines to learn without being explicitly programmed. Perfect, fantastic. Anjane, okay. Anjiga Selvan Ramasamy has mentioned like making the machine to learn, understand the behavior of a person through some data. Fantastic, fantastic answer. Machine learning from human experience. That's absolutely correct. John Peter saying auto improvisation of initial developed program process. Yeah, that's kind of a developer answer. Yeah, that's correct. It's kind of an developer answer. That's correct, John Peter. So, and Sukumar is saying ML in oil and gas, learning from historical data in terms of clusters and trend, and use that predictive. Yeah, yes, correct, correct. Teaching a machine, that's correct. Solving a real world problem using available and predictable data. Yeah, that's also correct. Whatever the thing that we mentioned, every one of you is almost correct. So just give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So thank you very much for the answers. Almost every one of you learn from past data and predict future ending trending. Yeah, everything is correct. So let me just reiterate whatever that you mentioned, whatever that you are understanding is 100% correct. What is machine learning? As I was saying, machine learning is something that learns from the experiences. So machine is something that it learns from the experience. It knows, it understands how to behave in the future. Okay, so how to behave in the future. What is the difference between a normal machine and then automated bot? Human also, whatever that we see, we will learn everything from experience. Unless our parents wouldn't have trained us or teached us how to cross the data across the road, we don't know how to cross it. We need to wait for, okay, press the button for pedestrian symbol to come, and then only if there is a red signal, then only cross the road. Someone, either our parents or brother or someone would have teached us, and that's why we start growing, we start improving our brains, right? Everything, whatever that we learn, everything is from experience. But what is the difference between normal machine and a machine learning powered machine? Follow instructions. This will just follow instructions. A normal machine or normal program will only follow instructions. Let's say, for example, if I tell a machine that go and bring a water bottle for me today, it will go and bring a water bottle which is there in my desk. Okay, which is there in my desk. But tomorrow I will tell the same machine saying that go and bring a water bottle. Let's say, for example, at the same place there is a, let's say there is a pen holder in the same place. The machine will bring a pen holder if I ask for water bottle. Explicitly you have to mention everything to normal machine. But if it is a machine learning algorithm, machine learning trained algorithm, it will understand what is a water bottle will look like. What is a water bottle? First of all, what are the characteristics of a water bottle? This is how it should look like. It should have some liquid within it, and then it will try to look for water bottle across the house, and then it will try to find out, okay, the water bottle is there in the kitchen. Okay, let's go and bring the water bottle from the kitchen. There is a lot of difference, right? For a normal machine which follows the instructions, and machine which a robot which can understand everything from the experiences. You don't need to mention like, okay, this is where the water bottle is. Just give him the experiences. Okay,
these are the characteristics of a water bottle. When I ask for this, go and bring it. But if it is a machine, you should say, okay, go straight, go left, there is a water bottle over there, and then bring it. That is the difference between an automated or machine learning powered algorithm and normal machine. So like difference between writing a normal program and writing an algorithm, right? So what every algorithm, how every algorithm will do, your machine learning algorithm will be there. What you need to do, you need to give only the experiences, you need to give only the historical data. Once the algorithm is built, okay, in our case algorithm, most of the algorithms, everything is built already as a package. Linear regression is someone has built, logistic regression if someone has built, decision tree if someone has built, neural network someone has already built. You're not going to build those algorithms. Those algorithms are ready already. If you wanted to build from scratch, yeah, we are expected, we can do that, but they were already there. What you need to do, you need to take those algorithms, train your algorithm with proper data based on the output that you want, train it properly, and then get output out of it and make use of that algorithm, make use of that machine learning algorithm properly whenever, wherever you want. Okay. So what is that we are going to do? We are going to build a model and we are going to feed all your input and output. Historical data means it should have input and output. Let's say, for example, I wanted to understand whether this person is going to become a defaulter or not. What is that? You need to tell the model that, okay, this is my historical data saying out of 1,000 people I have approved the loan, these many people are defaulters with this particular characteristics, with this part application we're having, with this age, with this experience, with this particular thing, he has paid the loan. With this particular input, he has become a defaulter. You need to give all the historical data to train the model. Once you train it, you will build the model. The model will become model become become powerful enough to predict whether whatever the new applications that are coming, it will be able to take the input and then it will say whether to approve a loan or not. That is how an algorithm will be doing. This is how to train the data, to use the data, feed the new input to the algorithm, and then get the predictions out of it. Okay. Okay. Any doubts, guys? Any doubts or any confusions that you have till whatever that we discussed? Any doubts or any confusions? Anything that you want me to reiterate and then talk more about it, or anything you can ask. If you want to talk to me, you can ask me to unmute. I can unmute you also if you have a bigger question. Okay, extremely going good. How the input data is training the algorithm? Yeah, that we will talk. That we will talk. Each and every algorithm will have a different way of training it, how input will be used and how to train the algorithm. When we are going into machine learning in detail, then we will talk about each and every algorithm. Okay, how it is going to get a fit, how it is going to come up with a program, and everything we will talk in detail when we are, because that's a, for every algorithm we need to discuss, right? So that we will discuss when we are going explicitly going into each and every algorithm. Okay, others, can I get some reply from every one of you, please? Are you able to understand? Or if you have don't have any doubts, no question. Okay, okay, only few people. Others? Hey, Saket. No question. So far, I'm good. Okay, fantastic, guys. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. All right. So let's see what is machine learning and what is artificial intelligence first. Okay. Let's try to understand these two. For everything, artificial intelligence is a super boss. He stands at the top, whatever it is, whatever the things that we are discussing, automate the robots and everything. Artificial intelligence is a super boss for everything. Okay. Yeah, I will share the material. I will share the material right away. I'm not going to share it, because if I share the material, people will think like we don't want to reiterate through all those things. If I start sharing it, that's how people are not concentrating on submitting the assignments and all that. I will go after the PPTs after some time, because I'm busy. Everybody started doing it. I will share it, but not immediately. But the PPTs which Eureka is providing by default, those things will be available. But I will definitely share these things, because these things are, I have prepared only to share it with you people only. I prepared this only to share it with you. I will definitely share it, but not right away. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So What is machine learning? Machine learning is one subsidiary of artificial intelligence. It is one subpart of artificial intelligence. For data science, for all this predictive modeling and everything, we only need machine learning. We don't need to go for artificial intelligence. Okay, so we for data science, artificial intelligence is something like creating an artificial intelligence completely. It's like using for robots. It itself will understand, it itself will build everything, like automated humanless cars, right? All these things are artificial intelligence things. But what is machine learning? We are not going to build any robots over here. We are going to, in data science, we are going to handle the data. We are going to making sure that you will be able to get the output, predictive modeling and all that. So that's where we'll use this machine learning algorithms. All these machine learning algorithms are defined in three main categories. One is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and another one is reinforcement learning. What is supervised learning and what is unsupervised learning? A supervised learning is something when you have some data and you know everything about that data and you know what is input and what is the output. The algorithms which are used on such data is called supervised learning. Okay, let's say for example, you have some historical sales data and you wanted to predict the future sales data. You know the input and you know the output. That falls into supervised learning. You wanted to classify a person whether can I approve a loan for that particular person or not. You have all the characteristics of a person and you know whether this person is going to become a defaulter or not. You know what is the input and you know what is the output. That is called supervised learning. And what is unsupervised learning? You don't have an output to produce. There is some data and you don't know what is the data about. Let's say for example, you have thousands and thousands of data, and especially that will be used in oil and gases also. Let's say for example, in a manufacturing company there will be thousands of dealers. Out of dealers, what is it you're going to produce? There is nothing. But you can use them to cluster it. You can say them, okay, these guys belongs to this cluster, these guys belongs to this cluster, these guys belongs to this cluster. I will talk about it in detail. But whatever the algorithms, okay, let me reiterate. Unsupervised learning is something like you have some data and you don't know what to do with that. You don't have specific output to produce out of it. The algorithms which are used on top of such data is called unsupervised learning. When you have such data, you can use unsupervised learning to get something out of it. There are few of them only. Okay, there are only few algorithms, but more we are going to concentrate on supervised learning. We'll get into most of the problems will be solved with the help of supervised learning. There are few algorithms. Those few algorithms will be used by a lot of people. Clustering techniques, dimensionality reduction, everything, recommendations, and all those things are called as unsupervised learning. So these algorithms also we're going to learn. What is reinforcement learning? Reinforcement learning is something like real-time processing of the data. All these new things. You're not going to learn any algorithm over here. You're going to use the supervised learning algorithms only in reinforcement learning. But what is the difference? It is something like you're going to implement it in a different way. Gaming artificial intelligence, real-time decisions, taking real-time processing of the data. So everything will come over here. We are going to understand it. We are going to see how to take a real-time decisions in the data. So this is called reinforcement learning. But in this data science class, we are going to more concentrate on unsupervised learning, supervised learning, and unsupervised learning. Because this is part of all the data people. It's not that data scientist is the only one who is going to give. It is going to be done by a lot of other people. Your developer should come, your big data guy has to come, your ETL guy has to come, and everyone has to. Yeah, we'll give the examples. I will give the examples for three types. Okay, everybody has to come to process your real-time data. So you're going to provide one algorithm to take decisions in between. If it is going to be a flow of all the things where you're going to fit at some place where you're going to use the same kind of algorithm what you learned over here in supervised learning. You're going to implement it. You're not going to learn any new algorithm. That's why it's called reinforcement learning. The implementation is going to be changed. That's it. What is the real-time processing of the data? I will talk about it now. Okay, I will talk about it now. Did we understand what is supervised learning? What is sales prediction? What is classification problem is, what is regression and what is classification problem? Predicting a continuous variable like sales, what is the weather forecast, how many tweets I can get, how many numbers I can get. That is called prediction, continuous variable prediction. Classification in the sense whether this particular person is good or bad. This is called classification. These two algorithms, these two examples are mainly comes for supervised learning. What is unsupervised learning? For example, in a manufacturing company, I have details about lot of dealers. I don't know what to do with the data. I'm just storing the data and then that is there with me. I don't know what to produce. What companies will use that, where companies can use that information is, I can divide these dealers into multiple categories with the help of unsupervised learning. What is nothing but dividing? I will say them as, I will pass all the information related to my dealers, like this many cars he is on an average, this much of revenue he's generating, this many cars he's producing. What is dealer for a manufacturing company? The showrooms, service companies, service centers, right? Let's say for example Ford have dealers across the globe, but what it will do, it will take all the information from all the dealers, but they will definitely they will have it. They don't need to take it, they will have it. What they can do with the help of machine learning, unsupervised learning, they can classify the dealers, use some classification problem which is there in unsupervised learning, like clustering technique. Tell them that okay, these are the people called as tier 1 dealers, these are the people who are called as tier 2 dealers, these are the people who are called as tier 3 dealers. What is tier 1? They are expertise in doing or fixing our vehicles. They were very good, they were with us, with associated with me, with us from so long. They were very good. Whatever the claims that they were making, they will do it very well. Whatever the customer is coming with a problem, they will fix it very easily. They have expertise, they were good, they were very top level dealers. Tier 2 people, they were not worse, they were not better, but compared to tier 1 they were little less. Tier 3 dealer, where they would have started newly, we don't know, we cannot go through all the information, right? There will be a number of terms that people has to consider. There are thousands and thousands of different things that they will consider in order to any classify any dealer. How many number of frauds he's doing, how many number of fraud claims he's doing, how many number of scrutinies he's got. People will go for a verification whether it's just a claim is proper or not. People do a lot of fake things, right? They will unnecessarily claim it and then they will get the money and then they will share it with the customer and then they will share it with them. There is a chance. So they will classify all those people into different categories where they can directly, okay, tier 1 dealers, if there is a new vehicle coming, first train the tier 1 dealers and then train the tier 2 dealers. So that's how on overall they can take the decision with the help of clustering it. And what is the information, how to do a clustering? They cannot simply take it like, okay, whoever is producing millions of dollars, take them, make them into tier 1 dealers. No, it's not the case. They have to consider all the data points whatever they have, so they can create the cluster. There is no output that is specifically is available. You're just doing the cluster. That's one of the example for unsupervised learning, clustering technique. Reinforcement learning, what is real-time processing of the data? Let's say for example, if you go to let me tell you what is the main application of real-time processing of the data. Let's say for example there will be something like big bang day will happen. Let's say for every if you go for any website like e-commerce websites, Amazon or Flipkart, they will create some big bang day or some special days, right? So let's say for example I am the one who is interested to purchase one iPhone. Let's say the access is also there, right? Let's say I wanted to purchase some iPhone 5s or something which is very old. I will definitely expect that there might be some good deal. Usually it is somewhere close to some $100 for example. Okay, some people whoever has some stores, they will create a deal saying that you will get this iPhone 5s only for I don't know whether 5 is existing or not. I'm just taking some random number which has come to my mind. Okay, 5s is there only for $50, but usually in the market it is $100. I will create a deal, I will sell the iPhone for $50. I have, let's say I have 200 phones with me, I will create a one dealer in Amazon. They will put a deal saying that iPhone 5s is only for $50, which is $100 in the outside market, for example. What companies will do, they will start looking at the products which has more demand. Let's say iPhone 5s for $50 is a very great deal. Out of 1,000 people who are coming, who are browsing that particular phone, out of 1,000 people who are purchasing it, who are browsing it, 50 people or 100 people are already purchasing it. 1,000 people are browsing my product. I see that out of 1,000 people, 100 people are purchasing it, and I have 200 phones only. 100 people have already purchased. Already 100 phones are gone out of my campus. Since there is a huge demand, I can understand. Okay, there is a huge demand for this iPhone. Why should I sell it only for $50? If I increase it to $60, I can still make a profit out of it, right? Because there is a huge demand. Even if I make $60, definitely I can make sure that my remaining 100 iPhones will be sold, because there is a huge demand. People will never think for $10 because it's just $10. Okay, even still it's a great deal, right? What I can do, I can immediately understand that, okay, I started my big bang at somewhere at 8 a.m. and it is 8:43. By 8:43 already 100 phones are gone. There is a huge demand. Okay, let's increase my cost to $50 to $60. So what is that you are doing? You are increasing your profits. Rather than selling it to $50, you are immediately taking a decision to improve your to increase your cost, where what is it, 100 into 10, $600, 100 into, sorry, $6,000, you are making additional profit, where you are expected to do $50,000 only, but you have increased by taking a real-time decision immediately. You take the decision to increase the cost at the right time, and then you increase your profits to another $6,000. So what is this? It's a real-time processing of the data. What companies will do, they will create a process flow. How many number of, what is the number of demand, how the demand is going. If the demand is this much, increase 10% of cost, increase 5% of the cost, and then see it. Okay, after making it at $60, you see that none of the people are purchasing the phones. Nobody is purchasing. Out of 1,000 people, either one or two people are purchasing. You see that, okay, nobody is purchasing it phone. But I wanted to get rid of all my phones during this big bang day. The customer wanted to get rid of all those phones during the big bang day. So again, they will see that, okay, there is a demand loss. There is no demand for $60. Again, you will reduce it. You will try to see whether I can improve it or not. If all the four, if everybody purchased even with $60, you will end up with getting more profits. How many products will be there in Amazon? Thousands and thousands of products will be there. Can you ask someone to keep on monitoring what are the products which are doing, what are the product? By the time he go for a break, all the phones will be sold. Let's say who is monitoring it, he thought, okay, I want to go for a break. What happens? All the phones will be gone. You will be ending up with same profits again. What is the purpose of having your monitoring or all those things on Big Bang Day? So you will automate that process. That's what called real-time processing of the data. You're going to take the decisions on real time, immediately. How to take the decision? You're just taking a decision immediately. Okay, but if, is there any algorithm that is required in difficult cases? Let's say, for example, in fraud cases, especially, where exact that is real-time processing the data. Are we clear on what is real-time processing of the data? If you are clear, then I will talk about one example where exactly the data science will come into picture. That's just an example of real-time processing of the data. I will take even more better example to explain where exactly the data science will come into picture. Guys, can I get reply from every one of you, please? I want everyone to respond. Please respond. Are you able to go through the flow with me? If not, please do let me know. Please do raise immediately. I will take some other examples. Oh, so far it's good flow. Okay, fine. Okay. All right. Yes, yes, yes. That's why it is becoming more famous. The real-time processing is going. Okay. Let's say, for example, you are dealing with a credit card data, right? So what is real-time processing of the data will be mostly used in identifying fraud. Let's say, for example, you lost your card, someone will directly go to a jewelry shop and then he will swipe it for maybe for $10,000. You lost. What is reinforcement learning? What is this real-time processing data? You're going to extract all the transactions which are happening, that is process of real-time processing. Okay, people will take people will take all the data. The ETL guy or either big data guy, whoever is handling the data, they will start taking it. But being a data scientist, you need to create an algorithm. what this real-time processing will feed, they will start extracting the data on real time, they will start cleaning the data, they will start processing your data into your algorithm. What is your algorithm is going to do? You need to take the transactions, you need to say that whether it's a fraud transaction or not. What is the probability that this can become a fraud transaction? If it is a fraud transaction, immediately you need to raise an alert on the real time, saying that either send notification to the bank or either send a notification to the merchant, whoever is doing it. So you have to do it within minutes. Your algorithm should be capable of going through the historical data. Okay, this particular person with this particular credit card, he has made a transaction of $1,000. You will go through the his historical data based on the history of the customer, based on the credit card history. You will see, you will understand, you will build an algorithm which identifies whether this transaction can become a fraudulent or not. Okay, if there is a chance that it can become a fraudulent, immediately will raise an alarm to those guys. They will try to investigate. Okay, are you the right person? If that particular person is still there in the shop, they will stop the transaction immediately. They will call out the person, they will say that, okay, are you the correct one, can you show the identity? Those are the things that will happen in real time. So what your algorithm should be doing, you're being a data scientist, you should build a classification problem. Again, whatever the classification you have learned over here, based on the history, we'll try to understand whether can we approve a credit card to this particular person or not. In the similar way, based on the same kind of algorithm you will use to understand whether this particular transaction is going to become a fraudulent transaction or not. Real-time processing is, this is where real-time processing will be used, and this is where you're going to use the supervised and unsupervised learning algorithms in reinforcement learning. It's not that only you are going to do it. Maybe it is required, you are expected to do end-to-end, but most of the times all this BI, with the help of all these BI people and everyone, we are going to do it. But your role will come into building the algorithm what based on the real reinforcement learning requirement. Right. So machine learning algorithms, the simple algorithms, some of the algorithms I'm just mentioned over here. It's not all the algorithms. We're going to learn even more than this, even more, a lot more than this. Okay, I just mentioned some of them. Regression model, it's like a decision trees, random forest. These supports regression model classification. Sorry, continuous variable prediction, time series models, and all that. When I say it's called regression models in this part, like predicting sales, predicting a weather forecast and all that, continuous variable. And then classification, identify the transaction is fraud. Can I approve a loan for this guy? Can this particular person can get a seat in this university with this particular rating? All those things are classification. To solve these classification problems, we have this many algorithms. Unsupervised learning, we have support vector machines, PCA. Not sorry, SVM falls into supervised learning only. I'm sorry. So SVD, PCA, K-means, a priori association rules, a priori algorithm, all these things. What is association rules? It's kind of a recommendation engine. Let's say if you purchase one mobile, you are also likely to purchase one screen guard or either a panel, right? You cannot, whoever purchasing a mobile, you cannot directly recommend this thing what we call the panel or either mobile. So younger people are likely to purchase something like, if they purchase mobile, they will immediately go for the matching headset, something like that, because they are more likely to listen to music, they are like more likely to enjoy the phone. But old people like us, or not like us, like me maybe, I should not use like us, I'm sorry. Okay, like me, we look for safety. After purchasing it, I will look for either a mobile panel or either mobile screen guard, and then only I will think about either do I need to go for headset, because anyhow I'm not going to listen to music, but why should I purchase it? So based on the customer, you need to identify it. So those are the association rules that you're going to identify. Whoever is likely to purchase milk, they are also likely to purchase bread, right? So you are going to identify those combinations of data. Whoever is making some transactions, it is not applicable for all the cases, but I'm just giving an example. That's what we're going to do with the help of a priori. K means we discussed what is the clustering technique and all that. So these are the some of the algorithms that we are going to learn in this course. Tools and technology for data science. There are a lot of tools and a lot of technologies which are available. Okay, so data store, having a data store is your data scientist object is to extract the data and build the algorithm, do the analysis, do whatever that they wanted to solve some problems. By default, he has to go to a place wherever the data is. Wherever the data is, I should go. In olden days, people used to store the simple data in Excel sheet or either in mainframes, where people used to extract the data, create some report, and then they used to put it in an Excel and then just try to do some analysis with the help of R and Python. They used to do it. And after that, what happened? The RDBM systems has come, like Oracle, SQL Server, like MySQL. All these things has come. So R has improved one more step. Here they started creating the libraries, or either Python. All these programming languages has improved a lot. They created all the ODBC connectors. Straight away you can connect to an Oracle system with the help of authentication. You can straight away connect to those RDBMS systems, and then you can extract the data into Python and put it in a data frame and then processing it. If you wanted to store it, you can also store it with the help of Python. One more step ahead, as I was talking, because of this digital world, because everyone started sharing all the information, everybody started sharing all the structured data, unstructured data with a number of things. Everything is moving into big data. Not everything has moved. There are a lot of things are still, 90% of the things are still there in our RDBMS systems also. Big data is the trending. It's just started. Everybody started talking about it, doing some POCs nowadays. It's not that 100% everybody is going into it. No, it will take still little time. So if your data is there in big data, then you need to connect to your big data, extract the data into your Python or R, whatever it is, whatever the program you're doing, start doing the analysis, start doing the analytics. If your data is there in your RDBMS systems, yeah, go and get it from there. If your data is there in some maybe in a website in somewhere, you just extract the data from there. If there is some social network data you need to get, yeah, go and crawl it from there. If you're, let's say for example, you're handling big data where petabytes of data you need to handle, where you are not able to do those things with the help of Python or so, then you need to use some big data supported technologies like Spark and all those things in order to process, in order to build algorithms to it. Python has some limitations. It cannot work on alone, it cannot work on petabytes of data, because you're going to do everything in your normal machine where it cannot load, it cannot fit all the data into your system. In that case, you need to implement kind of Revolution R and Spark or Mahout, all these technologies. With the help of Python also you can handle big data. In big data also we have something called, in Spark also we have something called PySpark. If you know Python, you can implement all the PySpark algorithms very easily. Okay, so build the model whatever the way you are, or either Python or either R, either Spark, and you need to build the model. Wherever you do it, you just extract the data from whatever the source you have and do the transformation wherever you wanted to build, do the model and then visualize it wherever. You can use any kind of tool. But organization will, some of the organizations will have some specifications saying that okay, we started using Python, right? And that's where you can use any one of it. It's not that you need to do all the transformations and everything only in Python. You need to do only modeling in Python, just your comfortability. In my one of my previous company, what we used to do, we used to extract the data, we used to do all the transformation in Alteryx. Alteryx is a very good is a tool where you can do a lot of data transformations very easily. Just drag and drop. With the help of mouse you can do a number of things. We used to get all the, we used to clean all the data in Alteryx. We used to directly take the data directly into R, and then we used to implement it. In the other company, what we used to do, we used to extract all the data, web crawling data, some different data from web crawling, or different data from SQL method, and different data from big data, everything with the help of Python. Then we extracted everything into it, and then we have implemented a PySpark algorithm to implement a machine learning algorithm. You do whatever the way you want, but that is how your ultimate aim is to build a model on the proper cleaned data, and then you should be able to get the visualizations or get the output so that people can look into it. Okay. So this is what more or like introduction to machine learning, and what is machine learning it is all about, and what is that we are going to learn as part of this. So just to say, there are two, technically speaking, there is no term called small data or big data scientist. Okay, so small data scientist is the one who is going to use R and Python, or either R or Python, and then databases, flat files he's going to do with in deal in with in memory model building. In memory model building in the sense, let's say for example, I'm building my machine learning algorithm in my machine, in the laptop that I have, I'm using now. My memory capacity is only 16 GB. I cannot go beyond 16 GB, processing 16 GB of data. Yeah, there are methods like parallel processing. Slowly you can take some chunks, that's a different concept, but you cannot handle petabytes of data. You cannot expect, your system is not capable of doing that. So you should build model which are in memory model building. So you can fit your data in memory, and then that is the only limitation that you have. That is the main limitation that with these tools. But if you're also wanted to become big data, it is mandatory that you should know R and Python, obviously, because they are the leading softwares, leading softwares in data science. And you should also know MapReduce, what is HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system, cloud computing. Also, you should know. You must, or you may not. It's not mandatory. But being a data scientist, the mandatory thing is you should know machine learning first. That is the heart of data science. To implement machine learning, you need some software. You need data. You need some software. It can be any software. To build machine learning algorithms, you need any software, right? Can we use R and Python in big data? Yeah, there are some limitations. I will talk about it. So what is the software that we have? R is especially for data science. Python, we have special packages which is available for data science. Every algorithm is implemented over there. Just use this topmost used software. Everything is available. Everything is available as a pre-package. So you don't need to do anything. Just simply implement those algorithms with the help of one liner or 2 lines. That's it. You can implement machine learning algorithms with the help of Excel sheet also. There are extensions available in Excel. You can build linear regression and logistic regression, all these things with the help of Excel only. There are extensions available, but it has its own limitations. You cannot go with a huge amount of data in Excel. If you wanted to do one step ahead, use these softwares. Some people will say, I will also use Java. Yeah, you can do it. If the algorithm is available as a pre-package, you use it, you build your algorithm. If decision tree is not available in Java, you need to build from scratch. Whatever the theory that however, how the decision tree is built and everything from scratch, you need to build the algorithm and you need to use it. Why do you need to do it? The algorithm is available there in R and Python, right? So if you wanted to use some big data, so in big data, we'll also have some technologies like Spark and R Spark, PySpark, and all those things are there. So because most of the data science people are well versed in the existing technology, well versed with R and Python, people have created packages. Again, in big data also we have some packages. R is not widely used for big data technologies is because it has its limitations. Python is becoming more and more famous nowadays, especially in data science, is because Python will have a number of extensions for a number of different things. I agree to a point that R is leading software in data science, but Python is becoming more and more powerful. It is rapidly growing like anything, is because Python has a number of extensions. You can connect to big data. You can connect to any NoSQL language like Cassandra and MongoDB. You can develop Spark applications using PySpark. Python is integrated with most of the softwares which are available. If you want to do some automated Selenium testing, you can do it with the help of Python. If you wanted to do some data science, you can do it. If you wanted to build some graphs, you can do it with the Python, right? A number of things are there with Python. That's where companies, organizations started identifying the necessity or importance, the powerfulness of Python. They started jumping into Python. Whoever wanted to implement any kind of things, now people thinking about only Python, because that is very flexible, very useful, and very, very powerful. You can do a number of things with Python, but where you cannot do all those things with the help of R and any other software, right? So this is what we call it as big data. And whether you are implementing everything in cloud, yeah, I should be aware of cloud technology. Let's say some of the customers who will be implementing all their big data, everything in cloud. Yeah, you must be aware of the cloud. You must be knowing what is cloud and all that. Yes, everywhere, not in oil and gas. Everywhere, people started asking about Python only because it is very flexible. If you are using R, for example, R Hadoop is there, but you need to write your MapReduce program again. If you wanted to do something using R syntax, you need to write a MapReduce program, where in PySpark everything is implemented over there. A lot of contributions are there where you don't need to write anything. Just implement PySpark. So that's where Python is becoming more and more famous. It is very, very flexible. You can use Python if you have with having enough knowledge on Python, you can do a lot of things. That's where more number of opportunities are coming for Python nowadays. It is increasing like any other software, where there is a saying that in some of the companies, we go to some of the websites are saying Python will become #1 programming language in future, considering its flexibility, considering its availability. Okay. All right. Any doubts, any questions, or anything that you have in this introduction part? We just talked about introduction for machine learning, what is data science and what is all about, and what is that we're going to learn. I hope you people got enough clarity on what is data science and what is machine learning is all about, and what are the algorithms, what is algorithm means, and what is the why are we learning data science, and what is that we need to learn in data science, and also why are we learning Python? What is the necessity of learning Python over here? Are we clear on this so far? Can I get reply from every one of you, please, so that we can continue to Python introduction? No Python introduction. I'm going to jump into Python syntaxes. Mayur, Sukumar Roy, Bijal, Anupam, Gaurav, can you please explain about regression learning once again? Yeah, sure. Sure, I will do it. I will explain about regression learning. See, we do have separate sessions for machine learning. We are going to talk about when we move on to regression models, and then we're going to talk about that. But since we have asked, yeah, we'll just simply discuss about the regression model, and then we'll take a break. Okay, we'll take a break for 5 minutes, and then we'll talk. What is a regression model? Just mention it as supervised learning. Just keep that in your mind. That is just a. I will finish it quickly. Okay, it's just a kind of algorithm where it tries to predict some continuous variable. Regression model. What is continuous variable? Weather forecasting, market forecasting, how much sales I'm going to get. These kind of algorithms are called as regression, which means the outcome is a number. Weather forecast, it's going to be a number, 27 degrees, 28 degrees, or whatever it is. The market sales, how much sales I can get, 1 million, 2 million, 1.2 million, and all those things. How many products I can sell, 1,000 products, 2,000 products. All these things are continuous variable. It's a number. Those algorithms which you use to predict them is called regression models. Classification is nothing but classify. Output, can I approve loan this to this guy? Yes or no. Your outcome is going to be either yes or no only. Is it a fraud transaction? The transaction which is made, is it a fraud transaction? No. The outcome is either yes or no. It's a classification. You're trying to classify between one or two or three objects. Either whether this particular review is either good or either bad, or either no average, whether this particular movie is good, bad, or average. You're trying to classify it something with the help of some input. You're trying to classify it. It's called classification problems. And if it is the output is something like, it's a output is continuous variable. Continuous variable is it's a number. There is no limit. It can be from one to 1 billion or 1 trillion, whatever the number it is. It's called, those algorithms that we use to identify the output is called regression models. Okay. For every algorithm, we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, when we move on to machine learning, then each and every subject we are going to discuss everything in detail. Okay. Okay. I think it is Saket. Did you understand what is a regression on high level? We're still going to discuss a lot on that. Okay, just for a high level understanding purpose only. Okay, fine, fine. So if you people have any other questions or anything else, you can feel free to ask me. You can feel free to ask me. If that is going to be a very big conversation, you don't want to type it, you can ask me to unmute. I can unmute you. You can speak to me. You can ask any kind of questions. One thing that I always tell to all my students is, do not hesitate to ask questions. Ask n number of questions as possible. Okay, if you don't understand it, ask me to explain it again and again. I'm happy to explain 100 times also. Okay, ask n number of questions. Do not think like, is it going to be a silly question? Does it really make sense? No, do not think like that. We are here to learn the things, and we should do it in a proper way. Silly questions makes lot of sense, very lot of sense than very difficult questions. So please ask. Don't think like it's a silly question. Do I need to ask what people will think, what instructor will think? No. Ask n number of questions that you want, whatever it is. Okay. All right. Let's take a break for 5 minutes. It's 9:07 exactly. Let's meet at 9:12. Okay. So yeah, there is a question. ANN is widely used. Will we learn artificial neural networks? We are going to learn. Even it is not there, I will teach you. Don't worry. Why SAS is not part of this program? SAS is a commercial software. What I'm saying, SAS is a commercial software. In order to implement all this ETL and machine learning algorithm, it's a paid software. You do whatever the software you wanted to. Data scientist, you do whatever the one you wanted to. SAS is a commercial software. SAS, SPSS, all these are commercial softwares where you need to pay license. Nobody is now looking for commercial softwares. Since all these big data things has come into picture, they should have to depend on some open source technologies without paying any cost, without paying any license. People can get the output 100% equal to all those commercial softwares, or 100, not 100%, maybe 99%, because of there is a huge amount of data. Output can be, you can, if there is a huge amount of data, the accuracy can improve. If there is a less amount of data, maybe you should have to depend on some commercial software where the way that they would have implemented the algorithms in a different way, like no other software has, open source software is doing. But whenever the big data has come into picture, people started shifting their more focus towards open source technologies. People started thinking like, why do I need, my data itself I'm storing in an open source technology, 100% open source technology, which is Hadoop. Why do I need to process the data, process my data in any commercial software? I need to pay a lot of money. If it is open source, if it is Jupyter, Python or something, you don't need to invest single penny on it. Just use the same system and then do it for free of cost. SAS is still the market leader. Companies with those who doesn't want to in commercial software, in commercial space, but Python and R is leading for open source space. Python, SPSS, these are some of the commercial softwares. Okay. So why it is not there? Because in future, a lot of people are expected to use these free softwares only. Yeah. Are we clear, Peter? If you still wanted to learn SAS, I think that's kind of a different concept where that's a different program where you need to offer. Okay. So, but yeah, as I mentioned already, I think I would have made it very clear that why this growth is happening more and more towards Python and all these things. Yeah. So we'll start. It's already 9:10. Let's meet at 9:15 exactly, within 5 minutes. Okay. Let's come back, every one of you. Don't delay it. Okay. And then we'll start immediately.
Hello everyone. Do we have everyone in the? Are we back? Okay. Okay. Others? Three, four, only four people. What about others? Five, six, seven. Only seven people are here. What about others? Eight, nine, 10. Bijal, Gaurav, John, Prasan, Anju Salvan, Jagadisha, Vidyanath, Sukumar Roy, Kshitij, Santhana, Jayashree are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What about others? Those who didn't respond, please reply saying yes or no, I'm back or whatever it is. Yeah, Ranjan is here also. Okay. Ibrahim is also here. Hey, Ibrahim. I think I didn't talk to you. Hey, Ibrahim. Kumaraswamy is also here. Okay. Okay, fine. All right. All right. So we have most of the people. Let's get started. So there are a lot of slides which are available, which I feel like we don't need to go through those things and detailedly discuss about all those things. I mean, they are very simple. Okay, so I'm not going to take all those things. Okay, if you want, you can go through it. They are very simple. They are very basic things. So I thought it's better to avoid this. Okay, so need a programming to develop an application, games, and everything for all these things. Keep a track of historical data, how to do the processing of the data, everything we need. So as we discussed, so we will no need to discuss all those things, like we know the importance of programming. So different programming languages we have a number of different programming languages. So Java is famous for OOPS concepts. Scala is famous for its OOPS concepts, including with object-oriented programming, including with the procedural language, where C++ and PHP is very old one. PHP is the one which you develop it you with the help to create the screens and all that. HTML also. So MATLAB is something that also used to do some data analysis and all those things, right? Analytics and all those things. So why Python? Why Python again? So why do we need Python? Why do we only need to learn Python? It's easy, is as I'm mentioning, it's easy as English kind of with the syntax itself, you'll be able to understand it very easily. And then the way that all the packages are implemented is very easy, and mainly more likely it's an open source, right? It's an open source technology. Anybody can download, anybody can get all the kind of all libraries for free of cost, and they can start using it. Nobody restricts, you can use anything. Okay, so on a high level language where you don't need to do some what do we call if you look at some sample scripts in Java, it's like you need to create a variable, or either you need to do a number of declarations and all those things. But Python is not like that. It's going to be as simple as possible. So whatever the things that you're doing, you're just going to directly going to do. If it is something like you're creating a variable a is equal to 3, it itself will create a variable. You don't need to create another line like new, what is the data type and all those things. Based on the number that you are passing, it itself will inherit that. Okay, 3 is a number, so we wanted to the Python itself will declare a as a numeric number, numeric variable. So you don't need to explicitly do all those things, right? So these are the very high level languages where everything is kind of automated. Python is smart enough enough to understand all those things, where it will avoid a lot of coding and number of lines that you are doing. So if you wanted to do some sum, just use you don't need to a plus b, just a lot of extensions are available. So it will become like very high level language. You will see, it will start feeling that difference if anyone is coming from different programming background, right? So you'll see, you'll start feeling the difference in from class one itself. It's portable, like the size it is implemented is only in MBs, so it is not going to be very huge
of size. So supports different programming paradigms like procedure language. It supports procedure oriented programs you write can write, and object oriented programs you can do, and it supports both of them. So Java is focused towards OOPS. So this is, but Python can support both of them. Extensible, so which means whatever the coding is, let's say for example some of the source you have in a different, some of your applications which are developed in different programming languages, you can start using those things also. You can execute those things also with the help of Python. So you can extend all your different programming languages and all the Java program and everything, C, C++ program, .NET program, everything with the help of Python. So Python have extensions available for to connect with all those things. So program productivity, so programmer productivity means, since the number of lines of code will be very less, so obviously the productivity will increase, right? So productivity of a program will increase. So it is tend to extensive support libraries, because there is extensive support library. So obviously you don't need to write a sort program, sort of the data comma sum. So it is a lot of time saving, right? What is procedure oriented and object oriented language? Okay, so object oriented language is OOPS concepts. Let's say everything that you create, you will make it as an object. Okay, everything that you create, let's say for example you wanted to create something in your program, every time you need to use something. Okay, let's say extracting some there is some column called address. Let's say you're handling some your personal data, name, address, what is the other and all that. There is address where it will have pin number itself, right? So what is that you will do? You are going to, you can do it in a number of different ways. For everything you are going to create an object, and then you will put it in a separate program, in a separate object. And then that object is nothing but, whenever you wanted to use some pin, use that object, you will you will create an object. That object will always be going through address, and then it will be extracting some pin. So you don't need to explicitly do the same thing again and again. Okay, that's a kind of object. Everything will be in terms of object. Everything will be considered as an object. In procedure language, what you will do, you will write a big program, very huge program. Everything that you are going to do will be, again the program will be going to that particular paragraph, and then it will executing it. Whenever you again need a Python pin code to be extracted, again it will go to the above paragraph. Okay, and then it will try to extract it. So object oriented program is like advancement for this one. Initially, whenever we have the new programming languages like COBOL and all these things, they were initially implemented with the procedure kind of languages, procedure oriented language. They were top down approach. If do this, do this. If this is the one, do this. Top down approach, it will approach. So where the code is going to be very lengthier, where whoever wanted to make any additional changes, people has to spend too much of time on it. So it has avoided the OOPS concepts. The object oriented programming has avoided all those difficulties, because we are going to, since the data is increasing, the complexity will increase. So if you start creating, calling the programs again and again, what happens? The procedure language will take little more time to execute, because every time it has to go through all the number of lines of code. It has to execute each and every line. If it is an object which is already there, it has compiled, it's a pre-built, directly it will go, and then it will take the data, and then it will give the output to you. So object oriented program provides more and more flexibility in programming. It's kind of new way of implementing the things, new methodology of implementing the things, rather than doing it in a manual way, which is called procedure oriented language. Okay, we are going to learn, we are going to see those things. Okay, when we move on to next classes. Okay, further we are going to learn all those things. Okay, integration feature, where I was saying like it can be integrated, robust. It is also robust, where it can connect with anything, and then it can, whatever it is, it can connect with it can work very fast. And then interactive, interpreted, and dynamic, which means interactive means it is very easy to learn, as I was saying, just simple English kind of language. It's an interpreter. Even someone wanted to understand it, someone who doesn't know Python, if you see a Python programming, if you will understand it very easily. Okay, you're doing a read over here, you're doing a print over here, you're doing loop over here, and something like that it will be. So dynamic in the sense, it can be like dynamic like no other no none of the other much softwares. So dynamically it can implement, it can be done a lot of things dynamically. If you wanted to change anything, you can do it. You will see all those examples. Okay, whenever we are going through the modules, you will start seeing all those examples. Okay, So who is using Python? We have a lot of topmost customers like Facebook and all these things are also using Python. So in order to do some data science or in order to do some programming and everything. So you see a lot of the very topmost organizations are using Python. So now the best part about Python is its applications. So we have different applications. We have upscraping, which is available. We have testing. We have Selenium integrated. Web development, we have Django integrated. For data analysis, we have pandas and everything available. Okay, so it is very easy. It has a number of extensions, as I was saying. If you wanted to do some plot some graphs, yeah, MATLAB is something that is available where you can do all those things. You can just need to download them, import them, and then you can start using it without having any much difficulty in coding. So that is itself is a main flexibility, main advantage for Python. So even if you see the job trend for any programming languages, this has actually been taken in terms of programming language perspective. But if you start thinking about data science and big data perspective, the opportunities for Python is even more better, even more higher. We have seen in the previous examples. Even I was trying to show some different PPT, right? So okay, so Python interpreter. So we have different kind of interpreters for Python where it is open source, right? So what you need to do, there is a cloud option which is available in order to practice for you people, where you need to log in into LMS, you need to connect to the internet, where you can log in into the Jupyter session or whatever it is there in your lab. So but I would recommend you people to install Python in your machines. Okay, so Python in your machines, and then start using it with the help of Spider or IntelliJ or whatever the IDE that you want. I would prefer you to use either PyCharm or either Spider initially, but slowly we'll move into Jupyter, because for data science kind of activities, Jupyter is very much preferred, and that will be very comfortable. So we'll slowly get into it. For now, we'll start using I'm sorry guys. Yeah, for now we'll start using Spider or whatever that you wanted to. Okay. So Python, you just go to Google and then you mention something like Python download. You will be able to. Yeah, I will explain it. We're about to go into that. Don't worry, I will explain it how to install this Spider and everything. Okay. So what I would say is just go to Google and then you type for Python download. You will be able to go. You will be able to download it. Download the software, install it. It's very simple. Okay. So yeah, Jupyter is a IDE. I will talk about it. I will talk about it. Okay. So if you download any software, okay, if you download any software, this is how it will be, right? A is equal to B. Okay, A is equal to 3. I need to mention. Okay, A is equal to 1. Where if you wanted to print A, so this is how your actual software will be. Able to see my screen, right? Able to see the Python Python.exe. Yeah, you just install latest version. That's fine. Install latest version. Even if you have multiple versions, that is fine. That is absolutely fine. Okay, so this is how it will be. In order to, we cannot work with a number of different things, a number of different programs that we are writing. What you will do, you will write a script and then you will execute it. Even that is not flexible. So what people will do, you will have to, you will be, everybody will be having some IDE where you will be opening this kind of Spider, Jupyter, Anaconda. All those are available as a packages like PyCharm. There are a number of IntelliJ, Eclipse. If you're using Java, you would have seen Eclipse, right? It's just an IDE. So it will connect to Python in background, so where it will make a lot of, it will give you a lot of flexibilities where you can start seeing all the variable names, everything, and then you will start accessing your scripts like anything very easily. So this is where every developer, yeah, you can use PyCharm. PyCharm also is good. I have Spider through Anaconda. That is also best option. Yeah, you can use any one of it. Okay, whatever the way you are comfortable. Okay, so but yeah, it's for data science, but it is preferred to most of the people, as far as you know, people will use Jupyter, because everything is a kind of multiple session, so you can have data reading in one session, so you don't have to always select between a number of scripts and all that. But yeah, it's up to you. It's your personal preference, personal choice. Nobody, no restrictions at all. So whatever the way you are comfortable, you can do it. Okay, I will also start flipping between multiple things. So sometime Anaconda, maybe sometime Jupyter, PyCharm also. I mean, it's PyCharm and Spider. I think both are same. I don't see any difference. Yeah, it's a kind of IDE software where you need to download it and to install it. Okay, before doing it Jupyter, just install Anaconda. Okay, just mention it as Anaconda download. It will have all the Spider. It will have Jupyter and everything. Okay, it was there in my machine, but it got corrupted, so I only left with Spider today. When I checked this yesterday before coming to the class, I see that my Jupyter, yeah, everything is free software. IDEs, everything is a free software, 100% free. You don't need to pay anything. Okay, if you feel that you are not able to, due to any technical reasons, if you are not able to install any of it, then you can make use of the cloud. It's not a restriction, everybody will have access to it. Okay, so everyone can start using it. Okay, no restrictions. If you go to your LMS, there will be something called a lab tab. If you click on it, then they will ask for your ID password. You just need to give authentication. By default, everybody will have access to it. Okay, there in LMS there is a document which have all the screenshots in the first module. Not in the first module, there will be a cloud, how to cloud it, how to use the cloud lab, so where you can just see all the screenshots. It will be very simple. Okay, if you use something else, please share procedure for Anaconda and Jupyter. Please give a Word document to that. Yeah, it's yeah, just simple, right? I mean, yeah, I'll provide the screenshot. Yeah, have not understood cloud. I have not understood cloud lab. Okay, fine. Yeah, it's better you install it in your lab. I mean, in your machine, rather than using cloud. I mean, that will be connecting through internet. You will see something like it'll slow. I mean, sometimes if some connection lost, you will be losing all the data, whatever the transactions you are making. So it's better, since it's a very simple software. You can install it. You can install it in your machine. I would recommend you people to install it. It's better to install. You'll have a lot of flexibility. You can do whatever the things you want. You can import everything just like that. So even in future also, you're not going to mostly work on those cloud things, right? So you'll start feeling that kind of comfortness if you start using it in your machine. Yeah, there is no restriction. Anybody can start using the cloud. So okay, go for it. Right, so this is more or like the Python. So this is the software and this is the ID getting started. So we'll start into Python. So if you enter Python, this is how you can start in using all the commands and everything. So in the braces, yeah, I will talk about all those syntaxes. I don't want to go through these PPTs, and which is a time consuming, again coming back and then doing all those things, right? So we'll directly jump into this. This is my personal library, where in LMS itself you will have some kind of different programming things like this, right? So you will have all these scripts available for you in what do we call, in LMS. So the scripts are already would have been uploaded already for you, so you can start using it. So if you go for it, hello, well, there is a program, just you need to mention hello world. So even if you are not here, you can just go to simply go to this command prompt, Python prompt, and then you can start using it. So you just install Python, and on top of it you just install Spider. Okay, that's it. It itself will identify where my Python library is. It itself will integrate with everything, so you don't need to worry about it. It's a very simple thing. Okay, very simple thing. If you, any one of you feel anything, any problem with installation, please call the support team, and then they will be able to help you out. Okay, they will connect with your screenshot, and then they will be able to help you out in installing it. Okay, so if you still feel any issues, connect to the cloud lab. You can start doing it. If in case any issues, please call the support team. Okay, there is a toll-free number which is available. Call them. Okay, okay, call them and then start using it. Okay, there is a question, will Anaconda or Spider will conflict with PyCharm? No, there won't be. So if you're using one version, then that will be interacting with one of it, so it will have multi-threading, everything integrated. So you can use anything. I will be using Spider for now, but I will be moving into Jupyter. Yesterday it was working, Anaconda was working, some reason it got corrupted. So Anaconda, if you have Anaconda, it itself will have multiple, like you can log in into R, you can log in into Spider, you can log in into Jupyter. Everything will be there in Anaconda. Okay, yeah, PyCharm is even more. Any IDE is fine. It's just for your comfortness. It's just for your comfortness. Anything is different. Syntax, everything will remain same. Nothing will change. Only thing is that rather than clicking this button, this play button, you will be clicking different play button. That's it. Nothing else. You can use any IDE just for your comfortness. Okay. So use Spider or PyCharm, both are same. I mean, the way that these icons and those things are different, but there won't be much difference. Okay. Use anything. No restrictions at all. Yeah. PyCharm, Spider more or like same. Okay, the both of them look. Jupyter is little different, but shows only thing is that everything will be, when it got corrupted in my machine. I used to have it. I mean, I used to use only this one only. So this got corrupted for some reason. I don't know why. It is not working. The Jupyter localhost has gone. Anaconda has been corrupted in my machine for some reason. I don't know. Okay, fine. So yeah, you can use anyone. If you are comfortable with your own machine, I would prefer you to use the local machine only. So cloud will be, I mean, you might have some network issues and all that. So if you use in your machine Spider or either in your PyCharm or whatever it is in your, which is there in your machine, so that will be very even more, you'll have some comfortability. I mean, if someone would have installed some packages, you won't be able to understand. You will understand all those things. In real time, you're mostly going to work on your machine, right? You will start understanding all those things. In cloud, somebody would have created some already installed some package for you, which may not be available, which may not be, you may not be some, you'll think like, okay, if you're executing a script, someone would have installed all the packages, but you don't know how to install it, right? If you start using your own machine, then you will start saying, okay, this package is not available, I need to install it. You will start feeling that real time kind of work. Yeah, Spider. Yeah, sure. I will go through it. I will take you through it. I will take you through it. So if you use Spider, then just go to run button after installing it. Just click on it. It'll open something like this. All options like file, open, everything will remain same. Okay, file, open, everything will remain same. You go to LMS. Okay, if you go to LMS, here there will be some scripts available for module one. There will be some scripts available. If you select on here, cloud lab guide, so this will be available. If you download it, then it'll show how to get into it. There will be some codes available. Just download this, so which is nothing but you will be able to download all these sample scripts, all these sample scripts. Okay, all these sample scripts for Python. And whatever the additional softwares, additional scripts that I'm going to show you, I'm going to provide it to you. Okay, I will be also uploading after class is complete. I will be uploading the same things over here. You will start seeing some new attachments over here. Okay, so I will upload all of them over, and you can see it from the same module. In the same module, you will be able to see all those things. I will upload it from my library, and then you will be able to see all those things, or the additional codes and everything. Okay, you can also download them. Once the class is done, I will be uploading all those things over there. Okay, so hello world, just to start with the hello world, print off, this is the syntax you need to follow, where you need to put everything in a parenthesis and single quotes, double quotes, where everything will considered as a text. Okay, please upload on Google Drive and share link. No, those we are not supposed to do that. Being in Edureka, we are not supposed to use any of the Google, any of the other emails, any of the personal information. We are not at all supposed to do that. Please, even you people, do not share anything, any of your personal things. It is highly restricted here. Okay, if there is anything that I needs to be shared, if I am not able to do, what I am going to do is I'm going to send those things to my support team. Support people will reach out to all your personal mails. Okay, I'm not supposed to reach out to any of your personal communication, or your people, or it should not happen. Okay, so if you feel that something is required, then I will share that information to the support team. The support team will share it to your personal libraries. So you just select this, and then whatever the line it is, if you use this play button, this will execute the entire script over here. Okay, if you see the console over here, the console will be showing the output. Okay, if you see here, this will be showing all the variables that we load. Okay, I will show you. Okay, I will show you once we execute it. Chat box, what is that you want in chat box? So Kumar, what is that you want in chat box? First of all, I will be uploading it in here. If you're not, if you, someone fails to upload it, download it. If someone is able to download, not download it from LMS, so there will be a problem, right? So I will upload it here. You can download it from here. What is the box? Okay, let me unmute you, Sukumar. My Python does not show the file. ET6C. Okay, okay, they won't be. They won't be. You need to download. You need to download it from LMS. Okay. If you want, I will also put a document from where you can download. I will prepare a separate document now right after this class, how to download Python and how to how to install it. I will put it in the installation. I may not be, but just you need to double click on it. That's it. Next, 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 next. Nothing else you need to select. Okay. So I'll give the links where to download and all that, so that it will be very easy for you. Okay. I'll prepare a document after this class. So this is where I am. I'm selecting this. So if I click on this play button in Spider, it will execute all the script, all the whatever the lines I have. So everything will be executed. See, hello world, welcome to Edureka, happy learning, welcome to Python. So why I'm getting to is I have given /n over here, new line. So wherever you give /n, it will give. So if I remove /n, it is going to display everything in a single line. If I print this, everything will be executed in single. So if I wanted to execute only line by line, I need to select the second option, run current cell. Whatever that I have highlighted, that is the only one which will be executed. Okay, run current cell is the one. See, happy learning, welcome to Python. This is the command. If you use /n, then welcome to Python will be printing in the next line. See, happy learning, welcome to Python. I'm running it in local. I'm running it in local. Okay. So this is a simple program where we can print something. If you wanted to print, this is the syntax in double quotes or single quotes also you can mention it. Okay, so that it will understand that this is a text. Okay, single quotes is not supported, so only double quotes is the one which is supported for text. Right, so you will start seeing this warning or either error message. If something there is wrong with the syntax, you won't be able to understand it if you're using Python IDE. Without IDE, you won't be able to understand it. It will say that after executing it will say that it's an error. If you use this, then it will start highlighting everything. Okay. Okay, so if I start opening all these things, it will become again one by one. It's a manual process. So what I did, so apart from all this different syntax, I put everything in my. This is a different script. This is my own script. Okay, this is what I used to share. I will also upload this script also for you. Okay. Yeah, single quotes will also support. Okay, it's giving just warning. I just wanted to show this is a warning it is giving. If it is error will give different kind of things. So this is how it will be invalid syntax. If you're using different thing, it will give invalid syntax. You see warning messages. So it's a kind of EOL while scanning. So it's saying end of loop is not available. See, single quotes is also working here. But if you mention something like in a wrong way, if you're not providing any end of loop, then it will start showing all these warnings where there is a problem with your code. The IDE will start showing all those things. End of loop while scanning the string. See, if you highlight it, you'll get all that error messages. Okay, so let's get into the details. So as I was saying, it's a very interactive. So if you wanted to do some sum up, you can do it something like this. Just mention whatever that you wanted to do. 571 plus 95. I mean into my 95. If you wanted to do it, just it will just display. If you execute it, then it will give you the output. Okay, it will just simply give you the output. And if you don't wanted to do that, if you wanted to print it explicitly, you can do the same thing. Okay, if you wanted to move that output, okay, print something over here. Basic commands. These are just simple basic commands. If you wanted to do say do a division and everything, you can do. Whatever that you highlight, those will be executed. If I print on play button, it'll execute all the scripts. If it'll execute all the commands. Since I have a script, I have given wrong syntax, it is showing invalid syntax. Okay, Yeah, you can use graphic libraries in Spider also. Everything can be used, but we are not went into up to that level. We are just started with the discussion. You will slowly start seeing them. Okay, you will slowly start getting into those things. So if you see here, 576 minus 91, I just put 96 into single quotes. What does it means? If I put everything anything in single quotes, that will be considered as a text. Can I extract any text from numeric? No, I cannot do. It will fail. Unsupported open types, I cannot do. If I put it in a numeric format, which is like if I remove this thing, then I will be able to get the output. See, 480. So you need to follow these minimum basic syntaxes. Okay. If I wanted to start assigning any variable, if I say income is equal to 12,000, I'm going to assign this into some variable. I'm going to put this variable. I don't need to do some declare and all that. So it itself will directly create a variable with numeric. Okay. Income, if you say income, see if you print on it, then it will say okay, 12,000 is the one I have. In the similar way, I can put everything. I can put x and y variables. I can try to do an exponential way. X into y, 20 to the power of 30, this is the value. 20 to the power of 30, this is the value. If you wanted to do some simple multiplication, 20 into 30, use x into y. It will execute, but it won't print because you are not printing it. It will just execute that, and then you can start seeing all those values. If you wanted to see the output, you need to print it. If you wanted to do the exponential value, x to the power of 30, 20 to the power of 30, you can implement it. You can use double star. You see, all the variables that you are loading, including the data type, it is coming over here. Okay, let's say if I use some a name Jack, see, it is a string. It has created this name. It has created a variable called a name with a string. Okay, so this is how you can view it. This is how you can create any variables for any data types. Do we need print command or not? Can we see, for example, if you are executing something like this, let's say for example, if you see here, you don't need print command over here because you are not moving that into any variable. You are just executing it. You will just see it. You will see the same output. If you don't want to, if you wanted to move it into some variable like this, if you see, if you're doing x to the x into y, x is equal to 20 and y is equal to 30. If you're multiplicating it and you are moving it into z, you are putting this x into y into a z variable, so that operation will be completed. But if you wanted to print it, you need to print it. You need to just select on that. You need to click on it. That's it. It will just simply print. If you don't want to do it, the explicit way of doing it is print. You don't want to do it, just select on name and then it itself will print again. You don't need to use print statement explicitly. Okay, you don't need to use that explicitly. See, name is something it is printing as text variable, but if it is using it, it doesn't have any single quotes, which means that you are explicitly printing it. The output, you wanted to see only the output. If you see name, it will say that okay, since it is a text, it will show it in a double quotes. Okay, let's say for example, I have something like x over here. X is already loaded over here. I wanted to delete it, then use del command. It will remove. See, x will be removed from this list. Whatever that it is there, it will be removing from the list. Yeah, print will also allow lot of options, like including some variables and all that. Okay, those things will come. Things will come. Since we just started, we will slowly get into it. Okay, so we have a lot of people who doesn't have any programming language, so we should not directly jump into the other things. We will slowly get into the complex things. Don't worry. Will the 0 point why print doesn't show codes? It is because you're trying to print the content. Okay, because you're explicitly printing the content. You know that it's a text because you are the one who created it. So you don't, it doesn't really needs to print with a double quote, single quotes. That is the way it is implemented. If you use that method, it'll do in that way. Will the 0.01 introduction Python py will be available? Yes, it will be available. I will upload it. Since this is my personal thing, I will upload right after this class. I will upload it. You will be able to see it over here. Okay, I will definitely upload it right after this class. Immediately I will upload it. Okay, if you wanted to delete it, you can delete it. Why we need to delete it? Why do we need it? Because whatever the thing that we are doing over here, everything is in memory. All these variables will be loaded into in memory. If you are uploading some Excel sheet where it is it is about a 1 GB, all my that 1 GB memory will be occupied. This data will be loading into RAM. I cannot load the data which is beyond 16 GB. Let's say because of my RAM is 16 GB, I cannot do any processing beyond 16 GB. So it is memory constraint. So that is when you might be expected to remove unnecessary things that are loaded. Sometimes if you close it, everything will be clean, but that's a different concept. Okay, so this is how I can create numbers, number variables, numeric variables, integers, and then I will be able to print the text also. Okay, print book name and all that. I can select the explicitly, I can select those things, I can print the required text formatting. If I wanted to print, I can print it. So some of the formulas, some of the syntaxes are not supported. So naming convention has to be proper. Naming convention should start with some numbers. Okay, so one is the one. This variable is starting with 1x, which is not supported. Any name should be start with any text value. Okay? X1. If you use x1, then it will come. See, x1 is the one I'm able to do. 1x I cannot. That is not the supported naming convention. You can use some underscore on all those things. X dot one is not supported because if you are referring to some data frame with the column name, there are different syntax that is available, but x dot one, these are some of the syntaxes which is not supported. Okay, x dot one doesn't support, invalid syntax. Okay, so x underscore one is something that is supported by Python. Okay, slash n didn't work in text print. Yeah, it will work. We have executed it now. Line number 28. Okay, line number 43. Okay, I think we need to use print only. Print n is okay. This formatting, okay. So you're trying to do this completely into slash n because that is in the codes. It will consider that slash n also a text. If you use the print command, all the formatting, everything can be, you can use. Let's say for example, if you wanted to use some print some variables, if you loaded some variables, you can start using all the formatting, everything over here with the print statement, which is not supported by the direct print. This is something like it will consider everything into simple text only. If you use print, then if you see, you use directly, you just simply use this, all the format, whatever the text you have, everything will be considered as slash n. Okay, everything will be coming in single line. But if you use print, then it will try to take all the variables, all the formatting variables. See, slash n using SAS, practical simple, it's using SAS. But if I use print statement, then it will go through, okay, this is, there is an text formatter which is there like slash n, then it will try to put everything into new line. So this is the primary difference between slash n and all those things. All this formatting we will discuss. Okay, all those formatting we'll discuss, how to put a variables and everything we will discuss. All those scripts are available. Okay, let's try to start with the basics and then let's get into difficult things. Right, delete a is something like we wanted to remove. If you wanted to remove anything, you can delete it. Okay, 8.9 variable data types. X is equal to, if I put something like y is equal to 2.98, it itself will create some variable. See, float, it created it as a float. 2.98, I'm just printing it. Okay, so if I wanted to remove del, again, if I wanted to remove a, because it's not there, it is not already defined, it will say it is not defined. I'm using a wrong value variable which is not already there. Okay, so age, weight and all this multiplications, everything you can do. Okay, everything you can do. Data types, which is numbers, numbers is nothing but you will be dealing with the numbers. Okay, so text, you just move everything into single quotes or double quotes. You just put it into a variable. You can, if you want, you can print it, name and message. I'm just printing it over here. If you want, you can print it. This is the syntax. If you want to print a name of 0 substring, it's a kind of substring, name of, in within square brackets, name of 0. For name, what is the name? Name Eric. What is the 0? Any index will start from 0 in Python. Any index, either list or whatever it is, the index will start from 0. What is index? This is the 0th position, this is first position, r is at first position, I is at second position, k is at third position. So the index will start from 0 to 4. What is the minimum index and maximum index? 0 to 3, since it has four characters in it. Okay, trace back most recent call last file programming Python. What is this, Kumar? Line number 9 module. Webinar separate after delete X. After delete X, okay, if I print it, then if I use print, then it is giving some error. Yeah, obviously you have deleted X now, you won't be able to find it because it is not there in the list. Okay. Because it is not there, you just deleted it. If you load it again, then you will be able to print it. It is deleted from your list, it won't be available. If you use delete, it is nothing but you're removing it. You're removing it from the memory. It won't be existing in Python. Okay, please look at this. You can practice it afterwards also. Please look at this. Okay, so Eric, this is the index. The square bracket stands for index. Okay, if you wanted to do it, you can print in the separate index whatever the number you want. If you wanted to explicitly print some values, it's in within message. If I wanted to print some 0 to 9, which means first 10 records, first 10 words I wanted to print. Okay, this is called substring. You can use substring command. Data science, see, this is my first 10 characters within my message. This is the message I have. I'm trying to print first 10 characters of my message using this particular syntax. Message of print message of 0 to 9, right? Okay, let me see what is this. This is something like, what is the length of message? Len will give length of message. What is the maximum length? It has 20 characters in it. Message MSG is a variable which has 20 characters. So what is that I'm going to do? I'm going to give a message of length will be representing 20 because it will be calculating the size, right? So if I say 0 to 9, rather than doing it, if I wanted to print it 10 to length of message, which means up to the end I wanted to print it, up till the end I wanted to print it. If I execute it, then you will see from 10th line to up to the end I will be able to. What length means? The maximum length. 20 is the characters that I have. Let's say if something like class 1 has changed, class 1 to 3, if I'm changing the message, I need to execute it. So if I use this, then the length will change. The length will be changing to, since I added three no more numbers, 23, length will become 23. So 10 to 23. So rather than explicitly mentioning it, you can use this length variable to identify the string. What is the length of the string? Like Java, the variables or object have the, okay, there is a question, like Java, the variables or objects that have gone out of scope, will Python not automatically release the memory? Yeah, it will release. It will release once some of the things are out of memory, then it won't consider that it's local to Python. It will release. Looks like the session is going in a structured way. Might be good you cover concepts first without interruption. Then can you open up for questions? Okay. Yeah, sure, sure. Kumar Swami, sure, I will do that. Yeah, yeah, that's what. Sukumar, please see if you start asking different questions while executing it, then people won't be able to follow. So please try to follow the things. Okay, so then we can ask all the questions. Okay. So others are also should follow, right? So but Ramaswamy, are you okay if I go one by one start explaining these things in this way, or you want me to put it in a understand the PPT and then going through these things? That is time consuming. I mean, because these are very simple things where most of you people are experienced. I don't want to talk about what is the we have, because if you start talking about it, this itself will take another 1.5 hours or so, because we are already done with the timing. So how do you want us to proceed? How do you want me to provide? Can someone, if you have any concerns with going in this way, you can raise it right away. Okay, if not, if you want me to take all the syntaxes through all these ppts, which is time consuming, because these are very simple things, I don't want to go through the ppts and then coming back again and explaining all those things. Current way is fine, today is fine, I'm comfortable the way you are following these simple things. Explaining spider is more structured. Okay, Kumaraswamy, can you please respond? Others are okay in this way? PPT will be definitely time consuming. Your way of teaching is good. From tomorrow, let's give enough time on concepts. Yeah, definitely we'll be taking those things. Okay, since these are very simple things, I'm not taking I'm not taking too much of time. Yeah, definitely I will slow up, Anupam. I'll slow up slowly. Okay, so I'm fine. Okay, but interruption should be avoided. Questionnaires later. Yeah, sure. I'll make sure that I will try to put the questionnaires maybe after for every half an hour or so. I'll try to correct it. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. I will share the code. I will share the code. Definitely. I will share the code. Don't worry. Right. So after that, so this is the length command. I can use message if I wanted to print the message for message into 10. Let's say, for example, site under construction. This is the message I have. So if I look this, if I mention it like message into 10 times, it will multiply the same message for 10 times and it will print. Message into 50 times, it will just replicate the same message into 50 number of times and it will print. Okay. If you increase it, then so this is how it will go. This is the output you were able to see. So if you use the slash n and then print it, then you will see, you will start seeing that, okay, everything will come into new line. The same one we discussed. See, everything is coming into text. But if I use print command message into 10 times, this n will be considered as the print will read this slash n saying that, okay, they wanted to print everything from this one, from next one, you wanted to print everything into next new line. It will create a new line and then it will start printing from the next line. Okay, message data science is on R and data science on Python. Okay, see, everything is printing from the new line. From the next one, it will create a new line, and then from everything from the remaining thing, it will start printing everything from the new line. Okay, it's the same thing. If you wanted to add something, let's say message one, if you wanted to, while printing it, message one, you just printed this, message one has this one, and message two, if you wanted to print message one plus go to home page, message two, I'm just printing this, go to home page plus, this plus symbol is nothing but the you are adding message one, you are adding with go to home page, message one, go to home page. If you print message two, then you will start seeing, message two for 10 times, which is showing as this one, site under construction, go to home page. Go to home page, you added it over here. Okay, to message two, and then you just add a concatenation. Okay, plus is the symbol which we can use. You can use variable also. If it is variable, then you don't need to use double quotes. So whatever the text, you can put it in the double quotes and then you can concatenate it. Okay, these are simple operations, very basic operations. Okay, so these are the variables. This is how we can play with the numerics and the text value. Okay, so we will move on to the variable types. Okay, we will move on to the next level of variable types. Okay, so where in Python we have something like list, set, dictionary, and tuples. Okay, list, set, dictionary, tuple, these are the things that we have in Python. So let's see what is a list. A list is something like you can put a number of different variables in a list. Okay, as a list you can start accumulating everything. So how to create a list? My list, see, I'm putting Sheldon, Tommy, Benny. If I wanted to add some numeric, let's say 1 comma 2 comma 3, I can start using it. I can use in this way. I can create list in this way. Okay, if I print my list, then I will be able to print everything. Sheldon, Tommy, Benny, 1 2 3. If I wanted to print only the first variable, I can use this first variable only shelled on. Okay, and then if I wanted to see the third one, then I can use the index of 2. This is the index. 2 is my index. This is the first index, second index, third index, fourth, 5, 6. Right? So I can have n number of different variables within a list. Okay. If I wanted to add 2 lists, I can simply use list 1 plus list 2. Final list. So I can add those. All the variables will be appended. See, LA. This is the first list I created. This is the second list I created. What I did, I just added it with the help of this concatenation plus symbol. I have added both the lists. Yeah, that will be coming. So let's say for example, final list. Let's see what is the second variable in this final list. Final list have Benny. Okay, I didn't like this name. I wanted to change it to Sunny, where I can mention final list of square brackets of 2 is equal to Sunny. I can change the name. I can edit it. Okay, if I print this final list, let's see what is that I'm going to see. Bunny is replaced with Sunny. Everything else remains same because I changed only the second index. Okay, because I changed only the second index. Let's say for example, list is out of index. If I wanted to append it, because it is already created with explicitly, I cannot. See, if I'm trying to add, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 variables are there, right? Okay, I think I need to use. Final list of 8 is equal to Sunny. If I print final list of 8, it should change that CR to Sunny. If I make it as 9, list out of index. So the list you have created doesn't, you cannot append a new one because it has already created. You can append it. You can append it with the help of plus. Okay, you can put another list and then you can use this with the help of plus. What is the default size of array list, and can we create an empty list? Yeah, there is no default size. Okay, you can create anything. You can put any number of values in it. Okay, while creating the list, you can put anything. Yeah, replacing we did, right? So final list of 2 is equal to Sunny. It has replaced Benny with Sunny. We have did replacement we can do. Okay, if you still wanted to see the length of it, length of final list, you can see what is the length of it. 9 is the length of my list. Okay, fine. It's already 10:10. Guys, we'll continue the class in tomorrow. Okay, I will upload the script. Those who are wanted to go through it, you can go through the script and then you can execute the things, because these are very simple things. But I will also go through the remaining things tomorrow at the same time. Okay, so you can execute them. But I would recommend you people to execute these things also, which is there in which is available in Python. Okay, which is available there in LMS. Okay, I think it's already 10 minutes late. We went beyond the schedule. Okay, there are people who are about to leave, so I don't want them to leave the classes or leave the concepts anything. Okay, so let's stop for today. And if you have any doubts or any questions, you can feel free to ask me now. Okay. Um, yeah, I will start with the program everything for tomorrow. Okay, so if you have any questions on whatever that we discussed, and you can fill but just 1 second. But by end of this session there will be an okay, tomorrow's class will be happening at the same time. If you are missing, then yeah, you can go through the recording. It will be available after some time. So so you can make use of that recording. Okay. Yeah, all right. If you still have any questions, you can feel free to ask me. Okay, I will be able to answer you. Topic for tomorrow will cover this the remaining Python scripting language and all that. We'll start with Python, and then hopefully we'll start with any other like lists and all the variables, some programming like for loop and all that. All those things we'll see. Okay. So that is so more or like we'll be going through Python syntaxes and all those things tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, guys, please do not forget to leave the feedback. It is important that I should get feedback from every one of you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks, Prasan. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you all. Three, two breaks. Yeah, sure. We'll definitely. It's not that I need to decide. You people need to decide. If you wanted to take two breaks, yeah, definitely. Based on everyone, then we can go ahead, Mayor. I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable like the way that you people are comfortable. If every one of you are comfortable, I'm happy. Even if you people wanted to take break for every 1 hour, I'm happy. Okay. I will follow based on your instructions. I'm not the one. You people are the one who has to decide all those things. Okay. Yeah, sure. But if it is because if none of you starts asking me the question like, "Well, can we take a break?" I won't stop. I will stop. I will still continue to take the sessions till the end of the day. So because so please, someone wanted to take any break, just please raise it so we can take a break. Okay. So I'll we keep on continuing. Please do not forget to leave the feedback, guys. So thank you very much for joining. We'll see you in the tomorrow's class. Okay. Sure, definitely we'll take for every 1 hour break. Okay. All right, guys, thank you very much. See you tomorrow. I'm going to end this webinar. See you at the same time. I'm going to end this webinar. Thank you. Goodbye.